streaming, please work. We'd really like it to work.
That would be real great.
I think the song is ready.
Starting. Okay, it's starting.
Oh, hang on. I've got a notification, so maybe that's
Way! Everybody's in the wrong chat now.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay, so it did work.
I'm just gonna drop that link in there. And it's live here. Oh! People are here! Oh my god. Okay, people are here.
Oh, there
Hello!
we go.
Hello!
Hello everyone! Oh my god! It hasn't caught up yet, so no one's watching. Not a single person.
The link you sent me straight back to where we were.
Okay.
Weird.
So it's weird that the videos on there is lagging.
Oh no, here we go.
Oh, the video on here will always lag.
No.
If you pull up,
No.
if you pull up that,
I
and then
bet
you
it's
don't lag.
There we go.
And then are you able to make the chat bigger?
Sure can.
Blindy McBlinderson can see.
Okay, so people can see things.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Done did it. That was a lot.
That was a lot. We've been trying to set up the video recording equipment for like,
Million years.
yeah, over half an hour now. But we're here.
Same
We're
thing.
live. It says 11 people are watching. Hello, 11 people.
It's probably more than that.
Hello, 11.
Where'd it go?
Hi. So I guess that most of you know who some of us are, and not everyone here. So for anyone who's here who isn't just like a subscriber of the channel, I'm Nyx.
I'm me. I'm Sasha.
And these wonderful people here are,
I'm Izza.
I'm Kat.
I'm JD.
and this is our announcement live stream for a Dungeons and Dragons series that we're doing, that we're starting very, very, very soon.
We're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
we play Dungeons and
I
Dragons.
sure hope so.
I thought we were playing Pathfinder.
do drags.
Thank you. Very lovely. A lot of love.
Will buy his energy.
A
Can we
lot
play
of
D&D?
love. A lot of love.
Yeah, so we will be playing a Dungeons and Dragons series, which will be obviously unscripted improv with JD as our dungeon master. And this series will be recorded and uploaded to YouTube every 2 weeks, which we're excited about because we're actually going to put a regular thing up on NyxRising Industries. Yeah, and we are here to talk about our characters today, talk about the backstory of everything we've done so far, because we've done a couple of adventures so far which weren't recorded because we were just getting a taste for it. JD's going to talk about his incredible world that he's created.
I can do.
He's got maps and
He's
stuff.
got
And-
notes.
Yeah, we're gonna give a few minutes for like the chat to catch up and everything, and make sure the stream is healthy and stuff like that. Make sure it's had water. Make sure it's had enough sleep.
Crack the window.
Because I know that none of us have.
With a few leaves in its jar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're gonna get like right into it, which is exciting and
Also,
terrifying.
Tyker's here.
And yeah, it's
And
your
he's
best
the star
boy.
of the show.
It's trying to take your screen time, Cat, apparently.
I know.
So,
Is that so?
Sir,
Stop,
give
please.
Cat some room.
It's fine, he's a diva.
Tyker is playing.
I'm used
Tyker
to
will be
dealing with
joining us.
divas.
Okay, so 3 minutes in, let me ask you guys a question before we get into it.
Oh, okay.
How many people watching this stream know what Dungeons and Dragons is? Now we wait because there is a delay in the chat. And we will not have an answer to that in a while.
Okay, yeah, there they come in. Me.
I should.
Me,
Okay,
me.
there are people.
Oh, wow, okay. 100 announcements.
For those of you who don't know,
Okay, sorry. How many of you don't know what it is? Because that's more important for us to answer.
oh, someone said no.
This is just very long. That happened, huh?
That was a
Oh
lot.
boy.
We have
Y'all!
at least 189 people watching.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I've seen some people in the chat saying that they don't know what Dungeons and Dragons is,
It's
which
the game
means
they play in Stranger Things.
it's the game they play in Stronger Thongs. And yeah, I think JD is probably the best person to describe this game that he is so passionate about.
Okay.
I can do.
JD has the floor.
By the way, how is the sound for everyone? Is this working for you guys? Because we can't hear what we're saying.
You can rest us.
Now we wait for an answer again. Sound is good. That's good, because normally we have like, sound is kind of crap. Okay, yeah, so JD, take it away. Explain what Dungeons and Dragons 5e is.
So, Dungeons and Dragons 5e is the 5th edition of the role-playing game Dungeons and Dragons, created by Gary Gygax and his friends in his basement in the 80s. Rumour has it his wife thinks he was having an affair because he was spending so much time away and being secretive, but really he was just dwelling in the basement, pretending to slay dragons and rescue people.
We're all learning here.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm full of anecdotes.
His wife burst into the basement like, you're having an affair! And he's like, sort of looks like he's playing a wizard.
We're like a wizard's cloak.
So D&D's been through a lot of like different iterations. When it came out in the 80s, it was very your simple adventurers. You don't even have a name. You just kind of raid dungeons, collect loot, get the XP. And now it has evolved. It is this far-reaching, immersive role-playing experience where you can get as deep into, or not as deep, into the characters and the immersion and the role-playing that you want. I feel that we're probably going to lean with roleplay over roleplay.
Definitely.
Yeah, we all love our characters very much. I love their characters.
Rule of cool.
Yeah, rule of cool over rules as written. I've been playing D&D 5e for about a year now, DMing and playing. I've been playing various role-playing games besides that, and war games and mini games and all sorts of things. But 5e is a good system. There are lots of rules. We can't be expected to remember every single rule, so there will be times when we fudge over something, or I make a call that's not entirely in the rules. But at the end of the day, this is a game and this is a story. So yeah, if it hits rule of cool, if I think it's cool and it's not completely unreasonable, like I hit a nat 20, why don't I hit the moon? Then
Why not?
no.
That's my character.
I want
I just want to touch them.
We're really happy that everyone is coming to join us for this, and we're just really excited to sort of share this with everyone. We've done 2 sessions already as a sort of introduce everyone into the rule system that is D&D 5e, because it can be quite complicated.
And like, some of us never played it before.
Yeah.
So
Most of us
We're
have
very
never
new
played
to
it before.
it.
they're very new to it.
Yeah, so if we are a little bit slow, we fudge some things, then please just bear with us. We are all just a bunch of nerds who are having fun. And that being said, I'm going with D&D 5e because it's a great rule system, because there's so much you can do, and it kind of lets you not get bogged down in the rules, because it encourages you. The first line in the player's handbook and the DM's guide is, this is a game, play it your way, have fun, and that's entirely what we are going to do with it. It's a set of guidelines, basically, that enables our story. This is about us telling a story with you all.
It's like the pirate code.
Yeah, exactly.
Less rules, more
Yeah.
like guidelines.
Yeah, I'll get into a little bit about the world and about what the party have done so far in a little bit. See if anyone else has anything to say before I sort of go on another big speech. And then we'll sort of talk over our characters a little bit.
Yeah.
Answer any questions and stuff. So before I go on explaining the world, does anyone have anything they want to say?
There's the comment disappeared, but I really like someone to comment. There it is. Rainey said, which is to play D&D is to have a love affair with fantasy.
Yes,
I really liked that.
Also, someone's just said it's a little hard to hear you there, so when you do the next bit, I'll pass you the microphone.
Yeah, okay. So someone's saying, is it basically like Game of Thrones? I guess in that Game of Thrones is a classic fantasy setting, but we're not going to be telling the story of Game of Thrones. We're not in the world of Game of Thrones. This is my world that I've created and built up. I've used a little bit of the lore from the DM, the DM's guide, the Dungeon Master's guide, which is that there are a pantheon of gods in this fantasy world, but beyond sort of taking their names and kind of made them my own besides that, and you'll find that out as we go through the world and stuff. So I guess, is it like Game of Thrones? It's as much like Game of Thrones as it's like Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or Dragon Age, all the sort of classic high fantasy stories. Obviously, it's going to be different in a lot of ways. I want to sort of branch out from Western ethnocentric fantasy and sort of explore some other things, but we'll get into that as we go on.
I love how passionate you are about your world.
I have a lot to say.
What am I saying? Like, it's our favourite thing is that JD's so passionate about the world that he's created that we're just like, we can't help love it. It's such a good world.
And we all get to like come in and add to that world. And
Yeah,
experience
you guys
things
are
and
what
stuff.
drive my world. Like the world would be nothing without you. Like, yeah, for the sake of the story, things will happen even if you don't interact with them. But at the end of the day, this is your story. This is what we're going to make of it. So, shall I talk about Caldera, the world?
Or should we do characters?
Let's start with the world.
Start
Start with the basic bit of the world, then we'll do characters, then we'll
Okay.
explain some more about it. Yeah, so I'm just gonna bring up this is part of, we haven't managed to fit it all on the screen, but part of the map that we'll be using.
So this map is made by Devon Rue. You might recognise her work from Critical Role. So Devon Rue has a Patreon and I'm subscribed to it, and that is where I got this from. Just to let you all know. And I've sort of populated it with the names of cities and areas and countries and within this large landmass. I'll get to that in a little bit. There are other continents on this world, but whether we reach them, who knows? We shall see. Right, shall I begin?
Yeah, let me bring the map down
You
so
hadn't.
people can see you properly again. There we go.
Giving you so many compliments in the chat.
Oh, really? I look
People
forward
like
to seeing
we
these later.
stand JD and it's like that's so bad.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes! This is my show.
We all also stand JD.
Okay.
So sweet.
So, our story is set in the land known as Caldera, a wide-reaching, diverse expanse of mountains, jungles and forests, lake formations and plains. To the south, the mighty jungles of the Sivray and the Rydkan teem with life and activity, while in the north, the frozen shoreline known as the Glittering Coast stretches as far as an elf eye can see. The landscape between is vast and varied, with an expansive set of lakes called the Shaste taking up much of the land in the southeast, feeding the country with a multitude of rivers and watercourses. In the mid-north, huge crests of mountain ranges tower over the forests and plains, the most prominent being the Needles, the Ash Crests, and the Chimera Mountains. To the west, swamps of the salt marshes and the jagged black cliffs of the Slaver's Ridge look out to a seemingly unending sea. Off the eastern shore of Caldera's mainland, the islands of Arrakis, Cassian, and Starstone are the last points of call on a long journey across the ocean to the continent of Ospeia. While our story is starting out in Caldera, that's not to say it won't end up across the seas. I have more. Shall I carry on?
Yeah, you can
So that's the sort of physical geography of Caldera, and all these areas are places where our story might end up. So they might be battling ice worms on the top of a mountain range, or fighting black dragons in the heart of the jungle. Yes, they're really fun. They're terrifying. Oh my god, they're so much fun to DM.
I love an ice worm.
Oh, they're great. I'll do one more little bit about the sort of people. So, scattered across these lands are a multitude of independent city-states, each governing and ruling themselves and their own provinces. Remnants of shattered empires and dead dynasties exist in lore and legends only. Their influence hasn't been felt for hundreds of years. Each city-state has a unique culture and way of life, ranging from the militaristic, regimented city of Shadeborn, tucked deep in the mountains, and the stunning palaces and coastal gardens of Miratail, to the marvel of Sanskra, floating entirely on docks, and the elaborate mosaic towers of Arrakis. The governance varies from city to city, with Riven governed by a council of 12, while Fang is ruled with an iron fist by a long family line. A spectrum of races, lineages, and species coexist in these cities, and many in the forest and fields between them. Humanity is by no means a majority, but is one of the commoner races. Halflings, gnomes, dwarves, and elves are as average a sight as humans, and races such as orcs, tieflings, dragonborn, lizardfolk, and even Ganassi aren't uncommon. Communities of half-elves, half-orcs, half-dragons, half-dwarf are often found as bloodlines and individuals mix over the centuries, creating unique new people, families, and cultures. Rarer races are found in the world, although tend to exist in smaller numbers, such as gnolls, tabaxi, centaurs, and even changelings. Some cities have a majority of some races as opposed to others. For example, Arrakis, which is populated with a majority of dragonborn, lizardfolk, and humans, or Shadeborn, which has a high concentration of dwarves, gnomes, and Ganassi. I've got a little bit more, but I'll talk about that in a second because I need to breathe.
No breathing.
Yay!
Well done, JD.
So you can see why we wanted him to be our
I'm
DM.
gonna play that at night just to help me sleep.
Yeah.
Someone said, "Can JD read me bedtime stories?"
Yeah, we said in the chat, like, JD, just keep talking.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not? Alright, what books have you got?
Okay, yeah, so that's our world, and now we're going to describe our characters. We're going to take it in turns. Chase is also part of this, but Chase is...
Oh, thank you, Vampy Pancake!
Oh, thank you so much, Vampy Pancake!
Oh my gosh, thank you!
That's a super chat. That's what a super chat looks like.
Do you want to put the table there, babe, so that it's a little bit closer and you don't have to keep holding it?
If I put the microphone down, you won't be able to hear me if it's below my mouth. Yeah, so it's the rest of us who are the player characters in this campaign, and also Chase, but he's not here because he's been away filming his Project Widowgast CMV, if you've followed him on Twitter and you've seen that. But yeah, we have a little video from Chase regarding Chase's character, which I will play first.
Chase can't be here to accept his award.
Don't give Cassian the ego boost of being played first.
Thank you,
Need it.
Dr. Wihiro.
Dr. Weiro?
Dr.
Dr.
Wihiro.
Weiro.
Oh, hey,
Thank you so much.
I know
Anyway,
that
Cassian
guy.
would've
He's
wanted.
shot me at Cos Expo and
oh nice.
he's a cool dude.
Nice.
You're a cool dude. You're a cool dude.
Someone's just asked if we can give our names again, which I think a lot more people have joined us now, so yes.
Okay.
I'm Nyx.
I'm B. I'm Sasha.
Oh, I'm Kat.
I'm Izza.
And I'm JD.
And Chase is going to be here momentarily in video form. So hopefully this works with the sound. I don't know how this is going to work, playing it off the computer. But we will give it a go.
Calm down.
So let's play.
It's not showing up.
It's because
Maybe lag.
him's too large.
Him, Lodge.
I don't know. Hang on. Let's see if he works.
My name's Chase, and I play Cassian.
Where is he?
Wow, he's not currently
Show me
showing
my
up.
boy.
In real
Hang on. Let's see.
there's
if
his
we-
head.
I see an
I
ear.
had some of his hair.
He's too large.
I see an ear.
What?
Someone said their heart filled with butterflies being recognised by you.
Oh, thank you, German critter. You don't have to do that. Thank you.
Let me.
ASMR.
Gimme G. Thank
Oh my
you.
They also
No.
complimented the shirts.
Nice. Thank you.
Someone
Cat
else
picked it
got
up
hoodie
for
as
me.
well.
Okay, one moment while I try and figure out how to get Chase on the screen.
Tiger's trying to help.
Thanks, Tiger.
Is help is. People are happy with just an ear.
Just an ear, huh?
Yes, the ear.
Display.
Oh, thank you, Space Crew cosplays.
Oh, thank you so much, guys.
Oh, that's so
Oh my
sweet.
goodness, thank you.
Oh, you guys are so
Display
generous.
capture. Okay. Oh my god,
Oh,
no,
Oh,
that's
God.
too much.
Ooh, that's,
Into the void.
that's too meta.
Oh, I know what I can do though. Hang on.
Don't bite
This
my
is gonna
foot,
look
Tiger.
Momentarily
No.
ridiculous, but then we're gonna bring
fuck.
Chase up.
I need to show you that though, babe. It's only showing this on the screen.
Okay, that's fine. There's a lot happening right now.
Oh, Whitney, congratulations on your new job.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
boy.
Okay. Here's what we're gonna do.
This is a lot.
Is that working?
How's it working now?
No, it's just a corner of his face again. What is happening?
What version of
Christ. Chase, I'm so sorry.
How's that?
No, he's not gonna like that.
It's getting there. I'm getting there.
Shrink it down, yeah. You get in there.
I'm so sorry, Chase.
Chase him.
He's not here, he doesn't need to know.
Do you think I want to see all of Chase's face? Like all of it.
Okay.
That's close.
Yeah?
My name's Chase, and I play Cassian Tyrion of Tyrion's Trinkets and Tailoring. In real life, I'm a videographer on the UK cosplay scene. I do convention music videos, cosplay showcases outside of cons, and I have been a member of NyxRising for 2 years now, which is pretty awesome. I got into D&D a couple of years ago when one of my friends asked me if I wanted to do a guest villain for their campaign, and I had so much fun. And since then, I just haven't really been able to find the time to play, so this is a fantastic opportunity with some really, really good friends to absolutely flex on my roleplay muscles and see how everything goes. And I'm very excited to be playing Cassian. Cassian is an elven wizard from the coastal city of Mirrortale. He is very into theatre, fashion, and the arts, and he will judge your outfit. Cassian is arrogant, selfish, and he's not afraid to share his opinion even when no one else wants to hear it. He will just say what is on his mind, regardless of the situation, because he thinks that what he has to say is more important than anything else. I know that he is probably going to create some tension within this party, and I frankly cannot wait to create that tension. It's gonna be delicious.
Delicious. Finally, some good fucking tension. Sorry, nice swear.
You can do.
Dorian.
He's a
Bitch.
He's a bitch.
He is.
Artwork of him.
Let me just bring it up. Okay, so
He's Fantasy Tan France.
he is indeed. The concept of that was his concept. So let me just bring up the picture of. Is this gonna work?
There
Yay!
he is.
There he is. Sorry, guys.
Technology.
It's okay.
So yeah, that's he. That's that sassy bitch.
Bye.
Bitch boy.
Bye.
That's Cassian. That is Chase's creation. We've played just one session with Cassian so far, and he has riled me up.
Yeah, there's some tension between those two characters.
Yeah, there's some tension between our two characters.
Some.
Yes! Good! I ship it! Was it them that was two bottoms trying to make it work?
Just two bottoms trying to make it work.
Ah,
Yeah, so that's let me just shrink it down because we're going to talk about the other characters now, so we can see all of us.
There
Okay.
you go.
Yeah, so that's Cassian, and Chase will be joining us, and will be in the first sessions that we record. He's just busy right now. Who wants to go next? Describing their character.
You're in front.
I'm in front. Okay.
Who's the other bottom making it work? Where's his boyfriend?
They're not boyfriends
Yet.
Okay, so
He's a pillow princess. Thank you so much, Morgan.
Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you.
Yeah, so in complete contrast to Cassian, who is selfish and arrogant and speaks his mind at all times, I am playing my masked mercenary called Renard. He's from the mountain fortress known as Shadeborn. He keeps very much to himself. He's quiet and calculated. He's a fighter and he's a devout believer. And he really, really hates Cassian. Yeah, he.
Sorry.
He does everything that he does it for the benefit of the greater good. And the others may not see that because he keeps so much to himself, and it doesn't really. His outward sort of personality doesn't convey how he is inside, which does put him at odds quite a lot with some of the other more loosely moraled characters in the party. He's met them travelling down to the coast where he's looking for information on a missing person as part of his work, and yeah, he's found himself with this ragtag crew of miscreants. And we're continually joking that he's the dad holding them all on leashes, like little baby leashes.
He's Scarrel of Goblin.
And everyone's going in a different direction.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's Renard. He's not really sure how he feels about these people yet, but I'm sure he'll grow to love them or leave. We shall see. Who wants to go next? You're next.
Yeah,
my love.
next. Fancy man.
Mm-hmm.
Where's my pretty boy?
He's here.
Thank you, Penny Mojo, by the way.
Yes, thank you,
Yeah.
Joe.
Much appreciated.
Thank you so much, Penny Mojo. Right, B, would you like to introduce your shiny fancy boy?
It's a shiny fancy boy. Yes, so this is my boy Astra, or Verdant Astra, and I'm just going to read you the really nice thing that R wrote for me to say out loud because I'm really bad at descriptions. So, A tall and imposing figure standing at nearly 6.5 feet, with pale teal skin, solid gold eyes, and a whip-like tail and dark horns twisted back from his head. Contrary to his size and appearance, the expression betrays his youth and naivety. And he's rarely without a smile on his face. The last few inches of his horns captured light inlaid with lines of mother and pearl and sheath-like scales. His long hair is of various shades of green and busy with plaits and ties held back from his face. He wears simple, neutral-coloured clothing of a traveller, and his cloak doing little to distract from the bright colour palette of his body. He's always carrying a lute on his back as well as his bag, which more instruments hang from. He wears simple jewellery, beaded bracelets, a string of necklace adorned with shells. As he walks, he carries himself with confidence, but with no real direction, taking in everything in his sight and with wonder and curiosity.
Yay, that's the boy.
Yay.
Do you want to tell us
a bard?
Instruments he plays?
So he is a tiefling bard, and he's from nearby the city of Riven, which is in the north of JD's world. And he carries with him a lute, a pan flute, and a lyre. He basically is a one-man marching band at this point.
He's burst at the beginning of Mary Poppins.
Yeah. He's really, he's a pacifist character, which is quite an interesting character to play in a game where you have to fight.
You don't have to.
You don't have to, so that's what he is doing, and he's got some interesting abilities that go along with being a pacifist. And yeah, he loves everyone and sees the good in every single person he comes across, which means that he's willing to give every single person a shot, and also every animal and person, he sees them all on an equal playing field regardless of their standing. So a king is equal to a horse in his eyes, like they're all even. And yeah, that's the boy. Hey.
By that merit, kings are bastards.
Kings are bastards.
So yeah, Astra is baby. You are correct.
Someone said seduction rolls for days, but no.
No.
Actually, no. Surprisingly.
Yeah, that isn't at all how Astra is being played. I know that there's bards seduce everything is like a really fun trope, but I guess it's kind of a character story plot thing that he won't seduce anybody.
Pacifist boy
Will not smash.
will not smash. Someone says, when he says, I'm creating the fanfics already.
Good!
Oh,
No, he isn't Ace.
It's just a story thing.
It's just a story thing. But yeah, that's my boy.
He's the cutest
shiny
boy.
boy. I like how somebody just went, he will be seduced.
Oh,
A promise.
also, he just enjoys collecting things. Like he got the Mother of Pearl when he was drunk for the very first time.
That was great.
And he got the Mother of Pearl because he saw a Minotaur?
Minotaur,
Yeah, he saw a Minotaur who had gold hanging from its horns, and he just got really excited about how pretty they looked. And he's just on a quest to try and be. He just likes to look pretty.
I want to be the prettiest boy.
He's very vain.
He's a fancy man.
He's very.
I love
that word.
With big arms.
He's very vain without realising it's vain. So yes.
So yes, I will say, because I'm seeing it pop up quite a lot in the chat, we do give you permission for fanfics and fan art and the like.
Please.
We would like to see it. I say tentatively we'd like to see it.
We do.
I can't even
all of it. At me all of it.
I can't even fathom that someone might draw fan art or write fanfiction of a character I created. It's just like.
So I can imagine somebody drawing my boy.
Ren says we will not make it too weird.
Thank
Weird,
you.
but not too weird.
Not too weird.
We've got so many
Also,
talented
someone
artists
just
in this
said that
chat.
he's a no smash zone. You just don't know. Like there's just plot things.
Oh.
Like they may come into effect, they may not.
It doesn't mean he's a no
It
smash
doesn't mean
zone.
he's a no smash zone.
Okay, yeah. That's a good thing to drop now. Actually, everybody's
Yeah, I was about to say.
social media handles before we can carry on. So, obviously, if you don't know ours, mine is we are at NyxRising as a whole, and from there you can find me at Paperstorms. B is at 0 Becky.
I'm gonna type them into the chat as well.
Sasha is at Rogue Arcanis, and then
I am JDB Cosplay. So on Twitter, it's all one word. On Instagram, it's jdb.cosplay.
And I am Evil Clever Dog on Instagram and Twitter.
Evil clever dog. And you don't use public social media?
No, I'm not very social media.
That's
person.
absolutely fine.
We will
Sorry,
pass on
I'm
any
too.
fan art to
I'm
you.
too anxious.
So we will pass any fan art on to Kat probably
Thank
via
you.
JD. Yeah, so that's our social media handles. Would you like to carry on, Isa, with
Yeah. I'm gonna
Your
read from
beautiful
my phone
lady.
'cause
That's
otherwise
fine.
I'll forget things.
the lady with the good hair?
Yeah.
Oh.
With the coolest hair.
Yeah, so my character is Elise, the Storm Sorcerer with the amazing hair.
Elise with the good hair.
Yeah.
Good hair! She got good hair.
Okay.
Wow!
This is the good content we need.
Thanks,
Yes.
guys! That's exactly the response I was
I'd like to
looking
know
for.
the story I'm going to
A
DM. It's just me a
woman.
lesbian dating sim. So like,
God is a woman.
Yeah.
By the way, I will be playing Elise as pansexual, so...
Yeah.
I also ship a Renard and Elise.
Oh yeah, so far that...
It's a love triangle.
Yeah, it's a love-hate triangle between Elise, Cassian and Renard.
so much kid.
So much hate and tension.
Yeah.
Everyone's so gay for your character.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. I haven't even
that's
said the
fair
rest of it
enough.
yet. We'll just
She's
leave it
buff.
at that.
I mean, look at her.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a buff mage.
That descended into madness, so do you want to start the description over again?
Okay. So Elise is a cunning and ambitious I'll start that again. Elise is a cunning and ambitious young sorcerer who takes great pride in her sorceress heritage. She has an affinity for lightning magic, obviously as a storm sorcerer, and also for taking things that don't technically belong to her.
You steal.
Yeah.
You say you steal.
She wants to steal.
No.
And Renard does not like this.
That's what you
So utilising her talents, Elise tracks down, acquires and researches arcane artifacts, and she isn't against getting her hands dirty to get the job done.
Stealing.
Stealing.
What do you want to do, Elise?
I want to steal!
Steal,
Either-
cast friends.
Either want to steal, cast friends on someone I really shouldn't cast it on, or I want to shoot someone with a lightning bolt. That's the three responses.
You and cast friends. Like,
So friends is one of my main cantrips, and it's just like whenever anything isn't going her way, she'll just like touch that person on the shoulder and be like, "Look, friend," and cast friends, and then try to walk away before the spell wears off. And it's really fun for everyone, and it never backfires ever.
never once. Not even once.
Not even once.
You're a liar.
She has great hair and she loves lying, just like Gina Linetti.
Well,
Yeah.
true.
Fair.
So Jay says she is a less reputable magical Indiana Jones.
Yeah, so
Ooh, I like that.
yeah.
Description?
Nice.
Yeah, I like that.
Elise is great.
Yeah. I
Elise
love
is
Elise.
great.
I'm a
I
bit
love
biased, but yeah, I love her.
At
She's
least-
my daughter.
At least one hit the first boss that we came up
It's
against.
true. Well, she technically did one hit them, except they had a thing
Yeah.
that brought their HP up back up to
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
So yeah.
Stacey! Hi, Stacey!
Stacey, please let me commission you to draw our characters. Your artwork makes my heart sore.
Yeah, Stacey.
Oh my god.
What are you doing?
Triple stream.
No, your character
Andrea
is
has
one of the
quite
coolest.
rightly says, "Was Indiana Jones that reputable?"
Yeah.
To which the answer is no.
JD will be playing every single non-playing
Yeah.
character.
Yeah. Yeah. So
He's great at playing NPCs. He can
So
do
good
so many
at NPCs,
accents.
Yeah.
so many voices.
Thank you.
And he really gets into them as well.
Wait till you all meet the Viscountess.
Ooh.
So
Wait until you meet the Goblin Cheesemate.
Oh my god, yes.
we will get to them. We'll get to them. But for those of you who don't know how it's played, the player characters, which is all of us, Four, and Chase, we play the story, and as the DM, JD makes the story, so tells us what is happening, tells us what we have to respond to, plays every single character who isn't one of us. So JD will be playing an entire world, and we'll each be playing one character, which is a little unbalanced, but you know how it is.
It's fine. Basically, every character I don't get to play in a D&D campaign myself is some NPC. Like, every character I've ever wanted to play is in there. The buff Viscountess Goliath, the Tiefling Musketeer Gunslinger, the Goblin Cheese Merchant.
We stand the Goblin Cheese Merchant.
The cheese is not made out of goblins.
No,
Just to
it's
clarify on the chat.
It's just goblins have an affinity toward cultivating of dairy products in my world. it's sort of where they found themselves. It's a niche that they carved out. You know, they worked hard.
Can you take that? I'm going to get the microphone arm so I don't have to hold it for the next 2.5 hours.
Get an arm to replace your arm.
Thank you.
Ah!
Shall I?
Oh my god!
Shall I speak a little bit more about the world? I have a little bit more while you're fetching that.
Well, then we'll do the last 2 characters.
Okay. So, spoke about the physical geography, about what the sort of cities and towns are like. So, just a little bit about religions. So, the influence of gods is felt in the world, although it's extremely rare that they exert this influence in any way more than the blessing of a zealous priest or favourable winds on a sailor's long journey. The divine pantheon reside outside of the mortal plane, so that is the world that these people are on. But they watch over their creation with a close eye. Devout believers say that Melora, god of the wilds and nature, can be encountered as she wanders the woods and fields of the mortal plane, or that Moradin, god of creation and the forge and the smiths, can be heard breathing fire into his volcanic forge, but very few garner attention enough to draw the eye of the gods personally, let alone encounter them. So in my world, the gods can be spoken to, dealt with, met. I have a full pantheon of gods. I have a creation myth. It will come out at certain points. In the other campaign I run, the characters basically encountered a Bible and allowed me to just spew all my lore and world building and exposition. And I'm sure as that comes out, I mean, we have various characters worship certain deities, so bits will come out as and when.
Yay!
Amazing. I'm gonna have to do some weird things with the microphone for a second, so
Sorry.
hang on.
Also, I'm gonna.
I don't know whether they can hear you right now.
Ren Elliott, thank you very much. I'm very happy about that.
What did you say?
They said they like my Ford cosplay.
It's so good.
You mean your
Shrek
Shrek cosplay?
Yeah,
Okay.
Shrek
Well,
cosplay.
I suddenly realised why it's echoing.
Somebody!
Oh yeah. So what I was gonna say is we're probably not gonna tell you why Elise has a scar because that's probably a plot thing, maybe. So
Who knows? It could be.
that might just be spoilers.
She got in a bar brawl with Cassian.
You're right
and
though.
Ren.
Elise did get her scar by being too hot to handle. She was so like hot that her skin just split. Like I can't keep this in. Like somehow she got hotter.
Someone was asking about length of sessions on the chat.
Hang on.
So I think we're planning to broadcast them as 2-hour shows.
Yeah, I think for the first one we'll do a longer one to get
Yeah.
the ball rolling, like maybe 2.5
Also,
or 3
yeah.
hours.
Starting
Sorry.
from a place where not all the characters are together, and then we'll like introduce the characters who weren't with us at the end of the last session and stuff like that.
Yeah, because not all the characters have met each other yet.
Yeah.
Because we've done what you call in D&D like a session 0, which means getting to know your character, like testing out different accents and backgrounds and like getting used to the mechanics of it. So it's kind of no big story beats have happened yet. So don't worry, I'll summarize everything we've done so far, but you're not really missing too much. The adventure starts now, and you'll be with us for the whole of the adventure when the whole party meet each other, and any bits that we feel you should be aware of, we will put into the story. Obviously, it's organic and it's live and it's role play, so it's not live.
Yeah.
We're building it as we go, but we'll make sure that you're as clued in as you need to be. We don't want you to be left in the dark.
And I guess after we've introduced the last two characters, you could give a quick summary of our first.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Sessions.
That's
So,
it.
yeah.
Okay, so who's next?
Next up is Sariel.
So if Renard is the one who holds all the leashes, Sariel is the one who wears the nervous collar. So Sariel is an elven druid from the Moon Maidens of the Copper Hills and is on the run from something very horrible that happened. So she takes a long time to trust people and is very sort of shifty and nervous and tries to avoid nervous and tries to avoid crowds.
Relatable.
Yeah, big mood.
Someone's just asked, is it okay to cosplay our characters?
Yes!
Oh my God.
Yes!
I'd love to. I wish I could cosplay Boblem, but I'm not 6'4", and I don't think I'll grow anytime soon.
If you go on my shoulders.
Stilts.
Oh my god,
Stilts.
the two of you could be Boblem.
And a big trench coat.
What was it? Where was I?
She's nervous.
Yes, yeah, nervous and untrusting of people, and is trying to sort of get away from what's happened to her. But has met most of this group at this point, and is finally coming round to trusting these people, which is a big deal. So she's gonna be.
Heart.
Yeah.
She hasn't met Elise yet.
Oh no. Elise is gonna break her.
Like,
I ship it.
in a good or in a bad way.
I'm not DMing that sort of game.
No.
Oh, I ship it.
We'll do like an after dark.
Oh god.
Turn the lights down real low.
Yeah, she's basically like the Caleb Widogast of the campaign. She's the sad backstory of
We
the
want to
campaign.
protect her.
Yeah.
Must protect.
Haunted eyes.
Yeah, that's my little one.
She's so pretty.
Yeah.
I love her braids and her. Is it like markings or a tattoo on her
It's
forehead?
like a tattoo.
Yeah, that's
Ooh.
cool.
She is.
Very
the
cool
cute.
character design.
Cody's described me as chaotic multi-shipper, and you're right.
What alignment are you?
Chaotic multi-shipper.
Oh.
Yay! Boblem.
Last, but very much not least.
Boblem.
Oh boy, Boblem.
We have Boblem.
Have my boy.
He's so pure.
Oh, it's like I call him a boy, but really he's like 21. But
For elves, it's very young to be fair.
That's
yeah,
very young for an elf.
suppose.
Cassian's
Well, he's half
200.
elf, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he's
still acts like a little baby.
So as a half elf, they have like similar lifespans to humans, just a little bit longer.
A
Yeah,
bit
it's like-
longer. So
yeah.
like.
Extended by 50 years. or
Yeah,
something,
like
isn't it?
150.
yeah.
Ducky Pond says, "Wow, a whole son."
Yes, he is.
Exactly.
He
is.
So, he is Boblem. He's a half elf and a druid. He lived most of his life in a farm with his grandparents. And I'm gonna try and do a southern accent for him. We'll see how that goes, because I already have my own accent going on.
I love your Boblem accent though. I think it's lovely.
Yeah.
Well, as long as people can understand me.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is basically just a very sweet boy. He's very in touch with nature, growing up in his farm. He's also very like naive, a bit unaware of how the world works. Whoa, that's a
Thank you so
that's a
much.
big donation. Oh wow,
Wow.
Rose,
Holy
Thank
shit,
you
Rose!
so
So much, Rose.
thank you.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so he's lived with his grandparents most of his life in his farm, which is why he's not very aware of what life is like outside of his farm, and things that to him are normal, to everybody else is like, oh, you can do this? And he's like, you can't?
You can't turn into an octopus?
What do you mean you can't turn into an octopus?
Doesn't everyone do
I
that?
think the most important thing is that he's 6'4" as well, which always throws
Yeah.
me.
Can I send you the height chart?
He's
Yeah, quite a few people
6'4".
have said on the chat, like, in this particular piece of art, he looks a bit like Frodo, but you have to remember, he is 6'4".
Yeah.
Also,
He's tall.
he has olive
He's-
skin, like a
He's
bit
the-
more tan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is the tallest one in
He's
the whole
Frodo
party.
sat on Sam, Merry, and Pippin's shoulders.
All wearing a French coat.
Oh, let's
All
be
wearing
fair.
high heels.
Yeah, all wearing.
If your character is similar to Frodo Baggins,
Yeah.
my character is Pippin.
Oh my god, he
Astra
is.
is Pippin.
Yeah. Cute. Yeah, he also has curly hair and freckles. So nice.
He's perfect.
Yeah.
He's
There
so
you go.
pure.
Thank you for all the lovely comments in the chat.
Yeah,
about
you guys
him.
are so
Oh,
cute.
yeah,
Not
you
following
guys
the
are
chat. I feel
you
like
guys
I
are
Yeah,
very
do you wanna
lovely.
Yeah, you can-
Oh, okay. I can stick over your shoulder.
I'm just gonna try and bring up
A
the
massive
height chart
boy.
that you made, because...
He is massive
Big boy with
baby.
small sun energy.
I think Sariel's height is wrong on there.
A tower
Do you?
of hobbits.
How tall is she?
I love this.
Oh, she's smaller than that.
Mind.
Frick me! Don't put that one up yet. She's smaller.
It's okay, we can just say that it's wrong and adjust, but...
She's even smaller than I thought.
She's so
So,
small.
yeah, so small. Here's the height chart, except that Sariel should be 2 inches shorter than that. Yeah, like... Oh, Cassian's got, like, angry small man syndrome.
Yeah,
hasn't
we
he?
have
Yeah.
Oh, I should change Elise so she's like 5'9", just to
Just to fuck with
5'10",
Five
just
Yeah,
to
do it.
annoy Chase.
Do it. Do it.
Should I do it?
Oh my god. Yes.
Just
do
to
it.
hover over him a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, do it. Yeah. Okay. I'm changing.
Changing the official height chart. I'm living.
Yeah, I don't. Boblem's fairly slim, isn't he? He's not that
Yeah,
hench.
it's the
but-
thing.
this is
He's
just
not
a
a
generic
hench
thing.
boy. He's a gangly, long
Like
boy.
wiry.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
you know,
just
when you
a
see tall
gangly,
people and you
gentle,
think,
hippie
oh, this
boy.
person is tall, and when you see really gangly people, you're just like, this person is long.
Yeah.
Boblem is long.
He's long.
He's a boblong. Yeah, I just used a generic website to make the height charts and all the bodies
Yeah,
like.
change Elise to 5'10" just because it will piss off Chase. And he's not here to say anything about it.
He's the daddy long legs of people.
That's amazing.
That's a good one.
So Sariel is 5'2" now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh my god, she's gonna be so much smaller than everyone else.
She keeps getting smaller every time in the
Sariel
campaign.
is shorter than Boblem's shoulder.
Yeah. As Sariel shrinks, Elise grows.
Steals the height from him.
I love
So
you
5'10"
too,
now.
Brianna. Thank you very much.
And then it's
Aw.
6 foot, and then it's 6'2", then it's 6'4".
Mom, stop texting me. I'm doing a live stream.
Mom, we're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Renard is technically actually 5'11", but he wears heel boots. And
Ooh, fancy boy.
yeah.
He just likes to feel tall.
He
Maybe
likes
Elise
to be tall.
5'11". I'm kidding. 5'10" is fine.
Okay, there's the updated. Let me just quickly.
I'll just put her in high heels, even though I would never ever put a warrior character I designed in high heels. Just so she's the same height as Renard.
If we ever go to a fancy ball, you can.
Yeah.
Oh my god, can we go to a fancy ball?
Yeah, I've already said,
absolutely.
like, this is
Fancy
happening.
outfits for
There's gonna be a
Can it be
beach
a fancy
episode.
mask
Oh.
ball?
Absolutely.
We all have to wear, like,
Fancy
Venetian
mask.
masks.
Beach
Yeah.
episode.
Beach
Yes, please.
episode.
Playing in the
Yes,
sand.
beach
Yeah.
episode.
Turning into fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll electrocute the water. It'll be great. It'll be a great time.
Cassian and Ren trying to drown each other. Astra trying to stop them from drowning each other while
And
playing
at least being
music.
like, do it! Kill each other!
Keel, who says, what if Boblem is actually the most powerful out of all of them? Druids are pretty powerful.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna, like, they can summon lightning and do all kinds of crazy shit.
Be octopuses.
Exactly. It's pretty
Be a swarm of
impressive.
spiders.
Man,
like-
who knows?
I didn't realise that we could be swarms of things. Like, I can be a swarm of bees.
You could be a swarm of centipedes and go inside someone's armour.
I hate that.
Oh, that's cursed.
Force them to attack themselves.
Yeah, there are like limits on what you can wild shape into. Like at your level now, I don't think you can wild shape into a flying animal. We'll have to
No.
check for certain.
Yeah.
I think because you're a Circle of the Land Druid.
I've changed that.
Oh, okay, so you're a Circle of the Moon now as
Yeah.
well. Okay, so that means your strength
I
is
can do more things.
amazing. Yeah, that means your strength is definitely in like the wild shaping. So you can turn
Nice.
into stronger animals. You can turn into animals more frequently than before.
Mhm.
Your only trouble is basically convincing me that your character would have seen
Yeah.
this animal. And usually
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah.
Went to a zoo one time.
Like, she could turn into a lion if she'd seen one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you've seen one, you can turn into it.
Let's go to the zoo, please.
Yeah. What circle is Boblem, if you're allowed to say, if it's not like a giveaway for your story or anything?
He's moon as well.
He's also moon.
Oh, okay.
But here's the thing. He's half elf and a druid, but he doesn't know he's either of those things.
Yeah.
He just thinks he's a boy with pointy ears, you know? Genetics are funny like that.
He's just like, everyone can turn into
Yeah.
animals. Like,
Yeah.
Like, why can't you?
Yeah.
I saw someone earlier say like it's a pretty squishy party and
Yeah.
like, attack wise,
Yeah.
we're pretty strong.
Yeah.
Like we got 2 druids. Like Cassian in a fight was like
I wrote
just
5'4" again, it's
whipping it
5'2",
out.
not
Yeah,
5'4".
absolutely. And like people underestimate druids all the time. Like, great, you're fighting 6 people. Nope, you're fighting 2 lions and 4 people. Oh my gosh! And I went on a bit of one earlier about how druids are the ultimate like battlefield control. They can just shut down entire sections of the battlefield, control people, tie them up with vines, summon dozens of giant insects to fight by their sides. They're
None of us really need to be there other than the 2 druids.
they're probably my favourite class to play, I think, because there's so much you can do. Like, yeah, they're not pure damage output like a fighter
But you
or a
can be, like,
barbarian.
Weird or unusual with them.
Exactly.
Which is kind of cool. Yeah, I do
And there's so
really
much
like
with
that
you doing
at
that
some
isn't
point,
fighting
yeah.
as
And
well.
I think that's really cool. I think where we're squishy is potentially defense.
Yeah.
But
We have 1 fighter and a bunch of mages.
and no healers.
No healers, yeah.
Druids can heal.
That's good.
Druids can heal and bards can heal, but yeah.
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 Plus, The thing with druids is that maybe we don't need to take as much like direct hits because they're good crowd control.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
can just push everybody
But
back
yeah,
a bit.
without your guys' wild shape, we are pretty much just like wheeling a giant glass cannon out onto
Yeah.
the battlefield and being like, "Come at me, bro!"
Especially our last session in which our bard went down first.
Yeah.
And so we were just like,
Help.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be fair, he was trying to protect a dragon.
Yeah.
Or a dragon type creature.
A drake.
A drake.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He was trying to like protect a drake, and
what's
like
happening?
2 guards attacked him. So, you know,
What else
what
is
else
gonna
are you gonna do?
happen?
You're gonna fight.
is this finally the right... Yeah, there's the right height chart.
Yeah.
Cool.
She's so small.
Should I talk about what the party's been
smaller.
doing up till now?
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's a good segue into it.
Okay.
Yeah, let me just close these.
Yeah,
I'm
no
just going
worries.
to cycle through these pictures as you talk.
Okay, cool. So, a few members of our party have met each other in pairs and trios, but as a whole have yet to come face to face with each other fully. Our adventure started in Fallerstadt, the coastal city on the Bay of Blades, with a navy active in defending against marauding pirates. Renard the mercenary, Astra the musician, the farmer Boblem, and researcher Elyse were in the right place at the right time to get caught up in a pirate crew's planned raid on the city's black powder reserve, a rare, dangerous and valuable resource. The four encountered a young sailor attempting to warn the guard of the pirates' plans and brought him to safety, fighting off cutthroat pirates in the streets and on bridges over the river. These adventurers joined forces with the city wardens to defeat the pirate marauders, taking it on themselves to strike down the crew's spellcaster, a druid, who was summoning a storm over the city to aid their assault.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good kill shot.
Yeah. After this ordeal, Elise conducted her own research on arcane foci privately, while the rest of the group met Sariel, a half-elven traveller, and Cassian, the wealthy merchant with flair and disdain aplenty.
Okay, I think we should. That's the end of the first bit that we did. So I think we should just take a minute to talk about the Viscountess.
Can we talk about the Viscountess?
He talks to you about the Viscountess ASMR.
Can we talk about the Viscountess?
It was an hour.
I loved her.
It was an hour of me just thirsting at my character, and me desperately trying to hold on to some shred of the story.
And yet still, you were going into extra descriptive.
Yeah,
that's
like
true.
you were describing her
You
clothing,
were like, oh yeah,
her
you can see her
jewelry.
rippling.
Oh yeah,
You're
her
just there like,
rippling muscle.
I mean, she's buff. I'm not going to not talk about it.
So Viscountess
Stand
Balthazar,
buff ladies.
What's her name?
Can you get heard? Can you be heard?
Yeah,
from
yeah.
her?
Viscountess, what was her last name?
Buff lady, Viscountess Buff Lady.
I will find it.
First name boss.
Like, the
last
thing
name
is,
lady.
Yeah.
out of character, so just me. JD's there describing this character, and then they're like, "Oh God, and she's so hot." In character, Ash was just like,
Yeah, Astra's just looking out the window.
"Yes."
And also I wanted to talk about how you summed that up like it was so epic, but that was like the most bumbling first campaign story ever. Like we saved a guy and then we had to attack that guy.
Sorry, guys.
I didn't know his intentions.
I
No,
didn't
it's
know
true.
there would be consequences to
my
my actions.
We didn't expect him to be a bully.
The
No,
Viscountess
I knew he was a shitlord.
definitely has big butch energy,
it.
and she could have stepped on me, and I would have said, "Thank you, sir."
I can't actually find her surname.
It was Balthazar.
But her first name.
Oh.
It was Buff Lady.
Buff Lady
Buff
Balthazar.
Lady
First name Buff, last name.
Oh my God! Have you seen the that video of just when will you learn that your actions have consequences?
Well,
And then Elise cast friends on Renard.
I was saying this to
Thank you,
Chase on-
Kimmy.
thank you, Kimmy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was saying this to Chase on Friday night because he was saying like spells that Cassian could get down the line that would be really useful to use on Renard, like suggestion. I suggest you take your mask off. I was just like,
Oh.
if you used magic on Renard and he knows about it, like friends,
Yeah.
I will probably try and kill you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's try and not wipe all the
Challenge
characters.
accepted, motherfucker.
It's like
What did you say on it was team friendly fire?
Yeah. Well, I used friends on Astra in the last session, but then you just
Almost.
ignored it.
it's because I did an action just before you did it.
Oh, okay.
But if you
alright.
did cast that on him, he would probably obviously it friends makes them violent.
Yeah.
He's a pacifist.
It
right?
doesn't necessarily make them violent.
Yeah, it just means that
but-
they know and they can like counteract it.
Yeah,
or,
they
like, take
can
retribution
get
in some
hostile.
way.
Right.
Like
It doesn't mean that they like attack you, but they could like send someone after you
Yeah.
or like something like that.
JD says suggestion. I suggest you take your clothes off.
Bravo, Jodie.
It's like Chase was looking up other things as well, and one of the things he had scares me a lot, or that he could potentially get in the future, which was what is it? Feeble mind.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that's a very high level spell.
We're looking at like what we can get if we go up to level 20.
You can get feeble mind at level 15.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
What does it
So
do?
feeble mind basically puts your intelligence, wisdom, and charisma to 1. So you become essentially like less sentient than a
worm.
dog. Yeah, you can't form coherent thought. All you have is like base instinct. So you can't think, you can't speak, you can't communicate. It lasts for
30 days.
Yeah.
No, you get one chance to save from it every 30 days, and you
yeah.
can still fail that, and it continues.
Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't like that.
Someone,
So
someone
just
can,
like a vegetable
someone
being
can
like
dispel
wheeled
it.
around by the
I
party.
don't like
It's a really
Because I was like,
bad
it's
spell.
fine. I bet I can do it. I've got like high charisma or whatever it is. That's the alternative.
We did a test roll, and it was like, nope.
No.
Astra was immediately feeble-minded. It was like,
Wow.
I don't like
Yeah.
this game.
Terrifying, like being
Yeah, but-
trapped inside your mind.
Yeah,
You've got Zone of
exactly,
Truth, though, haven't
exactly.
you?
I've got Zone of Truth. I've got Zone of Truth and.
Hi, Alex.
Alex has arrived in the chat.
Hi,
Alex.
Ah, hi, Alex.
I just saw the little moderator wrench pop up. I was like,
Yeah, it's scary.
Shall I carry on with the last
Yes,
bit of the
yeah.
session? So just
Sorry.
the last little section. So after this ordeal, Elise conducted her own research privately, while the rest of the group met Sariel, a half-elven traveler. Oh, I already said that. Met Cassian. Blah, 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 blah. Together, these individuals took up some odd jobs before travelling to Mirrortail, the neighbouring city on the bay, whilst Elise made her way up separately. Together, Elyse, Renard and Astra procured a contract from the Cartographers Guild to map out the flooded hills and swamps south of Sanskra, whilst the other 3 attended their own business for the time being. Boblem and Sariel hung out in the dock and pretended to be octopi. Well, didn't pretend, were octopi.
Not even
Sorry.
turn into them, just went.
Sorry, they were basically octopi in the bay for a day or so, whilst Cassian went off to do whatever it is Cassian does.
You're being better than all of you.
Octopus too.
That's the thing I need to ask. So if I see Boblem turn into something that I haven't seen before, can I turn into that animal?
Yeah, you've seen that
Teach
animal.
each other stuff.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Double druid party.
yeah, bitch.
I love the tall and small druid boys. Like it's a
boy and
cute. Boys with an eye,
Yeah,
which is gender neutral.
Yeah.
I made it a
Boys
thing that whatever
central.
animal Sariel turns into, it's a white one.
yeah.
Oh, like octopus. And I'm always like blue octopus. Like,
At least we
Yellow
can tell them
dots.
apart then.
Yeah. Okay, so Elise, Renard, and Astra managed to embroil themselves in the business of a local merchant lord. They confronted him on how harshly he treated a captured reptilian creature as a mount. So
We did, as a collective.
yes. Basically, one lord was marching through the city on the back of a guard drake, which is essentially a small dragon without wings, which are very, very rare creatures. This wealthy merchant lord had captured one,
had
put a
blood in
spiked
its
collar
mouth.
around its neck, and was riding it through the city, sort
I
of
would have done the same.
imposing and
Like showing it
waving everything off everywhere. Renard was like, Renard, Astra, and Elise were like, nah, fuck this. Get off your literal high horse and don't abuse this animal. The wealthy merchant lord was having none of it, so these 3 broke into his house, freed the creature, and fought off a bunch of his guards. They finished the session. Some of them very hurt, as
Me.
And me.
there were some injuries in trying to free a wingless dragon and fight off some guards.
Yeah. It tried to bite my arm off, so I'm just like currently standing in the street bleeding.
Yeah.
You guys are level 3!
Yeah. And so that is where you join us now in the streets of Mirrortail in the dead of night, a mighty creature set free, and a group of adventurers making a hasty exit from the scene.
With a pool of blood trailing behind them.
Yeah. So what we'll probably do is we'll like segue into the adventure. So we'll follow those three for a few minutes, and then the other few will be introduced slowly.
Just like, did you see that Drake just run past?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We might have to like deal with the consequences of our actions.
Well, if it isn't the consequences of my actions.
Again.
Things Renard didn't want to do. Release a guard Drake into the city streets. Things Renard has done. Release a guard Drake into the city streets.
Also,
It'll be
Elyse
fine.
Elyse has a present for you, Renard.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh shit!
So I've seen quite a few people ask, when's the first episode going to be? We are getting together next Sunday to film the first couple of sessions. And then... Hello! And then the first episode will probably go up, fingers crossed, on Monday the 29th. Which is like just over a week from today. And then it will be every 2 weeks from then we'll put out a 2-hour session. Which we'll be filming in chunks and then putting out rather than live streaming, because scheduling conflicts have made it hard enough already to even get together to do this live stream.
Yeah.
So
Which is why Chase isn't here.
Yeah, Chase not being here. But yeah, we've got a mixture of like freelance people with real jobs, like
you guys with real jobs.
real
Right.
jobs.
Hey, I'm not just about it either.
Yeah, so the other thing I wanted to talk about before we just talk more randomly about the things we've been up to is that we are going to be running an Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign.
Do you want to drop the link?
I haven't published it yet, so yeah, we're going to be running an Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign to get some things up and running for this, which there's going to be things like props, like miniatures and maps. There's the set that we're building, and
Can't hear you, babe.
can't hear me. It's
No.
Hello. Yeah, so we're going to be running this crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo for all kinds of things like terrain, miniatures, maps, props, artwork, the set dressings, new equipment, which we want to make sure our audio is crisp, like perfectly crisp. We won't be playing tonight. We will be playing before we have all of that stuff, because we, as you guys clearly know at this point, we have equipment enough to get started. But we really do want to make sure this is like super high quality for you guys, and I know in the past there've been quite a few people like, I wish you could improve your audio, which we've tried our very best to do, but this would be the stepping stone for really improving our audio, because I'm hoping like maybe we can even just make an audio file of this and stick it available as a podcast as well.
That'd be cool.
For people who want to listen to it like
On the go.
yeah, on their daily commutes or in their breaks at school or work or whatever. Yeah, it is going to be a play-by-ear series. We're going to just keep going as long as we're willing to keep going, as long as JD is happy to tell us stories.
Until we all
as
hate
long
each
as it's
other.
eggs.
The wheels never stop spinning.
No, they really don't. They really don't.
Every single day he's like, you know what I've done today, what I've come up with, just more maps, more backstory, more gods.
Yeah. It's like, right, let me write a creation myth. Yes.
The Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign is going to run for 60 days. And if it does reach its goal, it is going to run continuously until people stop helping us out, which is kind of cool. We're not expecting everybody to donate a bunch of money. We're not going to be like, oh, we're not doing this if we don't get a bunch of money. But if anyone does want to support it, we've got all kinds of really cool perks and stuff. So I am just going to quickly review and soft launch the campaign, which means you guys are going to be able to see it via the link that we're going to share in the chat, but nobody else is going to be able to see it yet. So you guys are going to be able to explore, have sort of first dibs on any perks that you like if you want to take part in the campaign.
Because you guys have sat like through an hour and a half of this. So
Yeah,
You
you've
deserve it.
dedicated
Putting up
people
with
have
us.
listened to us for
Through
so
the
long.
technical difficulties.
Can we show the sticker that is made for the Indiegogo?
Yeah, we definitely will show the sticker.
Also, Ren Elliott, thank you for the lovely comment. That breaks my heart.
cute.
Oh,
Comparing me to Matthew Mercer, thank you.
It's true.
JD is
though.
on my videos.
Did you see the other comment when they were like, JD, you remind me of a character of Dream Daddy?
Oh my god!
I did not see that one.
Oh, I saw it and I had
You
to
are
take
wearing
a
his
second.
exact outfit. You really are.
Oh no. Oh my god, that's me! Got my chest.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's Brian! It's Brian Dream Daddy.
Drop the image in so the whole chat can see
Okay,
it.
okay.
It's kind of a cross between Brian from Dream Daddy and Hopper right now.
Yeah.
You have
JD is DM Daddy.
I don't like that.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Daddy Master.
Absolutely not.
No, bad.
No.
Hello, baby boy.
I refuse.
Hello.
Where did you
You're
say?
so cute.
Has this been a lot? Has this been a lot?
Oh, fuck.
So
He's
many
like, why
people
am
in
I
your
not getting
space.
attention?
You're getting attention now. Look at your chunky ears.
There he is.
Hello.
It's Brian Dream Daddy.
You mean
It's
JD?
you.
It's JD.
Freckles.
That's JD's.
Yeah, we have our character art, you can just use that.
This is literally what I'm wearing!
Literally the same thing.
Fuck's sake. Why have you done this?
You are now Daddy Master
I was just
forever.
bringing attention to a comment. I didn't write that.
Oh my god.
Well, I've got to lean into it. I'm not going to shy away from this.
Don't.
Can you help me plan my outfit for next week?
You have to cycle through every Dream Daddy character.
For the record, I don't know anything about Dream Daddy. So.
This is a Dream Daddy t-shirt that I'm wearing. The Goth Dad t-shirt.
is
So.
it?
Okay.
Oh.
I just want to like put it into the chat as well. Is that whenever we talk about our D&D games, we also always call it JD&D,
Yeah.
which
D&D.
I love. I like love a lot. Sorry, I keep elbowing.
Thank you all for the ego boost. My head can only get so big.
That's true.
You're a good boy, Taika. Yeah. We haven't talked about what character Taika will be playing in our campaign.
All the characters.
Every monster.
Oh, he's gonna be a dragon that just eats all of us.
I
You
would like to
are.
rage.
Oh heck!
I
I literally hurt my face from laughing.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Oh, like I saw that comment, I had to take a second to like take it in. Be like, I'll mention this to the others in a bit.
There's so many comments about your Ford as well, because your Ford
Yeah.
is so good.
Thank you so much,
You mean
everyone.
his Shrek cosplay?
Yeah, Shrek.
That's all your family know me as. Is
Yeah,
Shrek.
Shrek's brother.
Shrek's brother.
Yeah, it's not
Shrek's
Shrek, it's
brother,
not
Shrank.
Shrek's brother.
Yeah.
Shrek!
Strong.
Strong.
Strong. Shrek and strong.
Heck. Call the bondulance, I'm having a strong.
Oh my god. I am so happy.
I have lots more Critical Role cosplays planned in the future, but
Yes, good.
knowing me, I will probably end up cosplaying NPCs from this campaign.
Yes.
I will just need to make lots of NPCs without body paint.
Oh my god,
Because
right?
I did see a lot of people asking if we were gonna cosplay our characters.
I mean, I'm kind of already casual cosplaying my
Yeah,
character.
this is casual Boblem.
I think most of us, but I know that Chase said that he won't cosplay Cassian because
Yeah.
Cassian is a character of colour.
That's fair.
And Cassian, and like, so that means Chase doesn't want to do that and doesn't want to like.
I mean, he's
Not-
not got a brown face.
He hasn't got a brown
so-
face, obviously, but he
Yeah.
doesn't also want to disrepresent his character,
That's fair enough.
which
I
is
mean,
just
fair
if
it's
he
his
doesn't
personal
feel
choice.
comfortable with doing that,
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
about what you're
I mean,
comfortable with.
Yeah.
Elise doesn't have the same skin tone as me. I'm personal colour as well, but she's darker skinned than me. But
Yeah, it's just up to
Yeah.
personal preference. as
Yeah.
well, so.
I will be cosplaying the Viscountess.
Yeah.
Even if I have to paint myself grey for it.
Also the Minotaur Taylor, please.
Dagu.
Please do Tagu!
Oh, yeah.
We can just hang out as Astra and Tagu and just do like wild.
I could
Two
absolutely
fancy
do Dagu.
boys.
All he needs is big muscles and flappy shirt and big arms. There is nothing more, he's a simple man.
I'm so sad I didn't get to meet this guy.
Hey,
Yes.
hey, Tagu's still around. Tagu has a brother.
Yes, Jodie Cat, you can call Cassian a thought.
We encourage it. No, we didn't find the Viscountess. Sorry.
No. What are you saying?
We didn't find the Viscountess's first name. It's in my notes somewhere, but
There are
many
extensive.
notes.
yeah.
It's Buff Lady.
Buff Lady Balthazar.
Big buff
It's
lady.
just like it's telling me to launch the campaign. I have to verify my email address, but they haven't sent me an email, and I'm really confused.
Is it in your junk?
I have 1,600 emails, and
Oh.
I'm regretting that suddenly. Why am I not tidier?
Your inbox is making me twitch.
Kelly, there definitely is a little bit of Antica spirit within me. Honestly, disgusting French accents are my favourite accent to do, probably. As much as Kat hates it.
It's not that I hate, it's just I hate the character you become. You're very good at doing the accent, it's just that your character Pierre is a menace.
It's true.
I am harassed daily.
I'll tell you guys about that off stream.
Come on, please.
How's it going there?
To everyone asking to draw the characters, yeah,
Please
absolutely.
draw these characters.
Please
we would love that.
Yeah.
Also, for someone's asking, like, where is the artwork? This is the artwork on the screen. Also, you've drawn your character as well. I've done a handful more of all of the characters. And also, we've got an official, like, the actual official artwork coming soon.
Yeah.
Through
That's
our, like...
part of what we're
Yeah.
fundraising.
Yeah. So we have an artist on board drawing the character campaign pictures that we'll be putting in the video, in the series itself. That is Laura Tolton. Is it? Yes.
Yeah. Laura Tolton art on Twitter and Charter Magic on Instagram.
Thank you, Tajal, and sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong.
Thank you.
so much.
Kat, can you hug the dog for them?
No, it's not an attack, I promise. There we go.
No time for teeth.
No teeth. Put those away, sir. Put those away.
You working?
It's gonna send you like 6 emails all at
Yeah,
once.
probably.
Yeah, and Ren, I have never read fanfic before, so my baptism of fire can be any fanfic that is written about
Already?
these characters.
That was quick.
Oh my gosh!
Already?
So
Oh my god!
It's so pretty.
Pause it here, let me show it properly.
It's so good!
The nature of something so
That's so
pretty so
good.
fast.
How do people do this? It took me like 5 days to do my drawing of Elise.
Yeah.
What's this
Yeah.
person's username?
They are
Shower magic?
Showers art.
Oh, showers.
Showers art. Okay.
Oh god, so
That's
amazing.
amazing.
How are people
Thank you
able
so
to draw
much.
that fast and that good?
I know, right?
That shiny
It's
boy.
disgusting.
Disgusting.
Disgusting
I wish
how
that were
fast
me.
and good they are.
Thank you so much.
Must be nice to have talent.
Oh,
A good shiny boy.
Thank you.
Aww.
Oh my god, I can't believe that. That's so pretty.
insane. I'm gonna go follow them. What was it? Showers art.
Yeah. I have a lot of NPCs that I'm really excited to bring to the world. I have a case of I make too many. And it's like, right, which one can I throw at them? And I'm just excited to share that with everyone, to be honest.
All the goblins.
Oh, the cheese merchant.
The cheese merchant. So that was from another session that I run. So I've been running a campaign with my flatmate and a couple of other friends and Kat for about 6-7 months now, and they're called mixed messages. They're 6 idiots, frankly.
Yeah.
I think only one of them has intelligence in the double digits. But they're
Oh wow, you meant literally.
yeah. It's only you. You're the only
No,
intelligent.
that can't be true.
I think you're the wisest. Boblem's definitely the wisest.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And they recently ran into 4 goblin cheese merchants whose names were Says, Milk, Candra, and Big Toe. Big Toe named as such because he has a rather large appendage on his left foot. A lot of discussion went into etymology, goblin naming cultures, naming traditions, goblin society, cheese culture, and much was said about Big Toe and between Big Toe and the party.
Big Toe has a sister
Big Toe has a sister
named Milk.
named Milk. She likes milk. Works well for those in the cheese industry. Obviously, if you don't like milk and you're in the cheese industry, you're not going to fare too well.
You're not in the right industry.
No, not one bit. Not one bit.
Do you not do dairy free?
No, that's more gnomes.
How
area of
does
expertise.
Big Toe feel about lactose intolerant people?
Big Toe has never met one person who's lactose intolerant. Just people who
Lactose.
Oh.
just people who haven't tried the white cheese yet.
You did say that dwarves were bacon.
Dwarves have more of a proficiency with bacon. Yes, that is.
Oh, okay.
That is true.
Hello,
That is true.
fascinating lore.
When you said like dwarves are bacon, I was like,
Oh,
Dwarves are bacon.
long pig.
That's an ingredient.
stout pig.
Don't eat the dwarves.
And who's to say that Big Toe and the gang won't find themselves bumping into the life of the party crew. But no, I have
so happy.
many
I want to
D&D
marry Big
NPCs.
Toe.
Oh god, don't we all?
I'm very excited to cross paths with mixed messages
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
No, they absolutely will,
God.
because the beauty of this is that it's in the same world as all the other campaigns I run. Yeah, I've slightly jumbled about the time slices a little bit, but I very much want these actions to influence other games' actions. And to be honest, it started out as like, right, I don't have the energy to create 3 separate worlds and 3 separate pantheons and 3 separate antagonists and such. So great, you're all in one place. Yeah, it's big enough that you will. It's unlikely that you'll bump into anyone else, but if we want to get one of our friends in or whatever, then what's that?
That means that Sappho exists in the same world as Elise.
Yeah, technically. We'll work out how it comes about if and when it does, but yeah, we shall see.
Very
Hello, sir. Nice to meet you, sir.
Yeah, you have this thing where you create really interesting NPCs and then just like the whole story gets forgotten because we all just get stuck trying to learn more about these NPCs.
Yeah.
Like when we were like, should we just leave the campaign and the adventure and just go travel with Big Toe and his siblings?
Yeah,
should
honestly,
we
I would
just
have been
be
down for it.
researchers?
Yeah.
I would have been down for it. My god. Oh my god. So to someone who is asking about new tips for a first time player,
It's live.
Oh,
I think it's live.
maybe.
Do the thing.
Can you bug off Facebook?
we'll get to
Not now.
that in a second.
Oh, broaden your reach.
Your campaign
no
is
thanks.
live. Okay, can I see it? Can I have it?
Give.
Where did it
Where
go?
did it
Sounds
go?
fake, but
Oh.
okay.
Can I have it? Give? Yay! Oh my god, okay. I'm dumping the link in the chat
Psycho.
now.
For all you magnificent folk who've been here for 2 hours.
Yeah.
We appreciate the heck out of you.
Thank you guys.
You guys have been great. You've been keeping us talking. I'll let JD say what he was saying, and then I'll go through some of these picks with you because we've got some really, really freaking cool stuff.
We
that
have.
we're offering
We
here.
have. We'll
Yeah.
get to it in a
We'll
second.
get to it in a sec.
Yes, sir.
So, if you're a player who doesn't know what they're doing, if you're talking specifically about D&D 5e, there are a bunch of resources available online. All the actual base rules for D&D are free and are available online. And basically, all you need is a set of dice, including a D20, which is a 20-sided dice. The basic rules and character creation stuff are all available online. If you look up D&D free rules, so it's on like D&D Beyond and the Dungeons and Dragons website. Outside of that, get yourself a couple of friends round with you, get some pen, some paper, and honestly, just a little bit of imagination. Like you really don't need much more, like to run like the simplest of campaigns with your friends. Just throw yourself into it. Don't be afraid to do anything. At the end of the day, you're playing a game.
And don't feel embarrassed about the role-playing aspect, I think, is a big thing as well.
You can roleplay as little or as much as you like. You can talk about your character in the third person, and if you don't want to, put in description into it, you don't have to. You can say, they attack, they do this. Or you can go full Liam O'Brien and act out at the table, and I pull out a bit of phosphorus and smear it along the line and cast Wall of Fire. You can go as deep or not as deep as you like. It is your game, it's your story. It can be any sort of theme you like. Just speak about it with your DM. It can be horror, it can be high fantasy, low fantasy. It can be in the real world, it can be sci-fi, it can be anything.
Yeah, that's another thing. D&D isn't the only tabletop game out there.
That's very
It's not
true.
even the only
That's very
tabletop
true.
fantasy game out there. There's
That's
also
very
like
true.
Pathfinder and Dungeon World.
Savage
and
Worlds.
Stuff like that.
There are loads of stuff. And the most important thing is that you, your DM and your players are all on the same level. You all know what sort of thing you're getting into. Anything before you go into the campaign, if there's anything you don't want to explore in-game, I don't know, any like high fantasy tropes of things that you might not want to touch, just say to your DM, hey look, I don't want to go into this bit, or that's not something I want to play, or that's not a trope I want to explore. Just say, as long as everyone's on the same level and you're around good people that you're friends with and trust, you'll have a great time. And just throw yourself into it, honestly.
And
just
if
have
they're
fun.
a good DM, they'll take your own comfort level
Yeah, absolutely.
into account.
Yeah. If you're ever in a game that you're uncomfortable with and people are making you feel uncomfortable, don't put yourself through it.
It's not the game for you.
Exactly.
Find another one.
Exactly.
It's not the party for you.
Yeah, there are, I don't know how many million people playing D&D. You'll be able to find a game in person, in a store, online. do whatever makes you feel most comfortable.
Yeah, definitely.
So our very first attempt at playing D&D was a total homebrew thing before we even played D&D, which was just shipwrecked.
Oh yeah, years ago, where we just, without any dice or any rules, I started describing like a survival scenario in which the other people who were with us, I was like, you guys need to survive this scenario, like you can decide what you do for yourselves, and we just sort of played it out like that. No rules, completely homebrew, and everyone just had fun, and you can be ridiculous, you know, it doesn't have to be like dead serious fantasy, like people compare it to Game of Thrones earlier, it doesn't have to be like that, it can be more like one of the many Game of Thrones parodies, where you just, it could be like Merlin, it could be like what was that singing one?
Gallivant.
Gallivant. It could be just like Gallivant.
People usually sort of go into D&D with the expression that it will be the Fellowship of the Ring, or it will be the Clash of Five Kings.
English accent.
And all like these classic high fantasy tropes. It's like It's Always Sunny in the Forgotten Realms. If you watch it, honestly, 90% of D&D games is just chatting shit at each other, and the rest is being terrified that balls, I fucked up. My character's gonna get eaten by this knoll. But honestly, it's mostly just ridiculous.
Thank you so much to the people that have pledged.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, let me talk you guys through our perks.
We've got
on our Indiegogo
two backers
campaign.
already.
I'm just gonna go and
Thank
get a
you
glass
guys.
of
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
so
much.
Yeah, go for it.
Get drunk.
Okay,
Only two
so
backers.
Yes.
we have a bunch of perks available on our Indiegogo crowdfunder. Our tiers on it. So unlike something like Patreon, which many of you know that we already run, this is a one-off donation of support. It's not a reoccurring payment. You pledge whatever amount you like. You look through the perks. You choose what you want, or you just pledge an amount if you just want to give a random amount and you don't want any perks. It starts at £2 or whatever it might display in dollars. I think it displays based on what country you're in. At £6, whatever that is in dollars, like $7.50 or something, you'll be getting a Life of the Party vinyl sticker, which we'll show you in a moment, a shout out on our Twitter, and access to our exclusive Discord server for Life of the Party, where after every episode airs, we're going to be popping on to chat about what happened in that episode, like talk about how the characters are feeling, see how you guys feel about it, and we'll be on there for a few hours after every episode just to like catch up with you and see how you're feeling about what's happening and talk about how we're feeling. Up from there, we offer the opportunity to create an NPC or name a shop, or create like a low-level magical item or something that will show up in the campaign. And so the idea of this perk is that you guys can put your spin of creativity into our story, essentially.
You're being on stage, sorry.
That's quite okay. I'll just keep talking. You guys just keep playing with the dog. Yeah, so you can create a character that JD will bring into it. You can like name them, come up with what kind of creature they are, what race they are, and they'll pop up at some point.
At some point.
Yeah.
Obviously,
They're not going to all be at the same
we won't be able to
time.
put everyone in at once, but
yeah.
if they're on there, they will come up at some point in the campaign. Obviously, we don't know how long it is, but we will not go by without everything being mentioned.
And that will be sort of at the discretion of like talking to JD about it. So essentially on the Discord perk, which you'll get with every tier, you'll then be able to discuss like what you want your NPC to be, and you'll reach some sort of conclusion on who they are.
Like, within reason, we're not going to accept any racist caricatures or tropes or anything offensive or gross. Or
we know what
anything-
you guys are like, and we know you're not going to do that stuff.
Exactly,
So.
but it's just something we have to say.
And also just to bear in mind that we'll film like 3 episodes at a time.
Yeah, so if you create your NPC like after we've filmed a whole section of it, you might not see them popping up for quite a while, but they'll be in there.
They'll come in.
And I will do my best to honour everything you create.
At the next tier up, there will be included, as well as all of these other perks, a signed A5 art print, which will come to you in the post, and it will probably be a like party art print of all the characters together. Next tier up, you'll also get a postcard from somewhere within the world of Caldera, like written on the back from the characters.
And you get all of the ones as well above that tier. So you
Yeah.
get like all the things included that we've already mentioned.
So
and
everything we've
extra.
mentioned, you get it plus on the next tier up.
He does have a foot fetish.
No.
Taika, stop with the foot fetish.
I'm not into that.
I'm gonna go give him his food.
Oh, is it dinner time?
It's dinner time for
At the next tier up, you and anyone else at that tier will get to, with JD on the Discord, design an entire dungeon that we have to adventure through. It can be as complicated and weird as you guys decide upon together. You can decide what our sort of prize is at the end for completing it, or what sort of horrible monster we have to come up against.
Are they gonna
feel
try
like-
and kill us?
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
if one of our characters dies in a dungeon designed by one of
Yeah.
those people, like they have to get something, you know.
Jigsaw is hell.
It's like Mario Maker. It's like make the worst possible level for us.
Yeah.
And you'll also get your name read out in one of the episodes as it airs, or possibly at the end of all of them. We haven't really discussed that properly yet, but we'll read it out and thank you, or possibly not thank you if you get us killed in your dungeon.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah.
We'll have a personal vendetta against you
Um,
and report you en masse to Twitter.
yeah. At the next tier up, you also get an exclusive Life of the Party enamel pin, and me and B will help you design your own D&D character. So we'll help talk you through a character sheet. We'll help you come up with the design and the backstory, and give you a piece of artwork of your character. That's at £72. Because that number is haunting us.
It's just been following us for so many years.
72.
Yeah.
What? Is there a story behind this?
There is.
There
We'll
is.
tell it all
Okay.
later. But yeah. So that is, you'll get all of those other things above: your name read out, design a dungeon, create an NPC, us helping you design a D&D character, and an enamel pin. The next tier up, you will also get a series of pre-game backstory novellas. So looking to be anywhere up to sort of 10,000 words per short story. Probably one for each character, and those will come through as they are written. And at the very top, you'll also get a Life of the Party t-shirt of your very own, and you will also get an executive producer credit on every single episode of the series.
Put that on your CV.
Yeah. Yeah, so those are our perks. There will be other ones coming and going as the crowdfund campaign continues. Like, there will be a point where we go, okay, that's potentially enough NPCs, and we'll change up what options are at that tier.
And also thank you so much to the 6 people that have already donated.
Wow.
You guys
thank
are
you so
bad.
much,
Oh my
guys.
god, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're 28% funded already.
You've got to be joking me.
Jesus. You guys just-
Oh my god!
you guys are some really good
You guys are
fans.
insane.
Oh boy.
Guys, you guys are
you.
literally incredible. Or,
Thank you very much.
That's not real. I think we're all so passionate about our characters and JD's world, and JD's passionate about all of it as well, and it just
You bet.
we can't wait to share this with you, and to see you guys also as so excited as we are just means so.
oh,
so
it means
dang much.
everything to us, because
Yeah.
we've
There are babies.
since May, when we first talked about this, we've pretty much talked about nothing else apart from like JD's world, these D&D characters. JD's had to put up with us every day, like, and this other thing about our
There's
characters.
been no having to put up with. I am as complicit in this as all of you. I am an enabler. And
I was starting to feel guilty about messaging you ideas for backstory like every single day until you were like, no, I love it, send me more!
my only limit is like sometimes I occasionally have to do my job, and it's like I can only piss about so much.
Occasionally.
You know, you can do
Very
Facebook
rarely.
messages at work, it's fine.
Yeah, I take my phone out on site and I'm like, yeah, I'm doing work.
Thank you so much, Space Crew Cosplayers, who's just pledged $90.
Wow!
That's
Thank you so
incredible.
much.
Jesus.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much!
And if to anyone who's saying like, I'll wait till I get paid, whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
there's
gonna
no
run
rush.
it's gonna run for 60 days.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely no
we
rush.
might be 30% funded, but it's gonna keep running for 60 days, so there's no rush to it.
And there's no
Um,
obligation.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much, Gracie
exactly.
Queen.
Thank
I'm
you.
just
If you guys can pledge money, that's okay too.
Yeah.
Don't worry about
Yeah.
it.
But if
We
you
It's still gonna
understand.
happen
You can help
regardless.
us out by just like sharing the link or whatever.
Yeah, it-
Yeah, that is just
Yeah.
as
It
valuable.
does say at the bottom of the page, other ways you can help us out. Obviously, I'm sure everybody watching this stream is probably subscribed to the channel, but growing the channel
in terms of having more people to come and watch the show when we actually post it, that's extremely beneficial to us. So sharing it around that we're doing this, creating fan works obviously helps us sort of, we love it to begin with, and also helps sort of drum up a bit of hype for the show and stuff. Talking about it, sharing it with other people who might not know who we are or what we're doing, but who might be interested in this, because we know that D&D is a stretch from what we normally do, and so there's people out there who might not ever even look at NyxRising Industry as what we regularly do, but might be interested in this. I'm seeing Alex is asking, is there a way to up pledges like with Kickstarter? I am not entirely sure, actually. This is the first time I've ever run a crowdfunding campaign, but I will have a look into it for you. Alec has said, can we do a sponsored fireside chat with JD?
Yeah, absolutely. What would you want to chat about? I can just read you my favourite stories, or
does he have to be in his Dream Daddy cosplay?
Oh my god.
So long as you start it with, I didn't see you there.
They have sent you a lot of questions about is this okay to do for a character? Is it okay to use your own personal traits, that kind of stuff? So maybe stuff regarding.
Yeah, maybe you can do a couple of videos about making a D&D world.
I'd be happy to do that.
Sad Yeehaw has asked if it's okay if they animate any of our adventures, and I'm like, yes,
Oh
please.
my god!
Oh my god!
Yes, of course!
Thank you, Sad Yeehaw. Yeehaw.
What the fuck is happening?
Lol, if you want to spam D&D Beyond, I'm not going to say no.
We're really hoping this is going to be great, and actually, I can tell already this is going to be great, because you guys are at least nearly as excited as we are about doing this.
We're so passionate and we're so excited about this.
I'm so glad we're going to bring this to you really soon as well, because I'll be honest, we were looking at dates that we could do the first one, and it was we can't do July. Oh, it looks like we can't do August. Until
September.
Isa very smartly was just should we just cancel that other plan that we have and play D&D, which is why it's happening so soon.
Let's not go do that fun thing, let's play D&D instead.
So we bought plane
Side note
tickets.
to Emery Elliott, no, please don't actually everyone go
No, don't
email
actually do that. I'm
D&D
actually
Beyond.
kidding.
Wait, what was this?
It's 170 emails to D&D Beyond would get their attention. No, please don't do that.
We don't wanna
enjoy
piss them
enjoy what's coming out, and
We are now 33% funded.
Oh
You
my
guys
God.
are absolutely fucking mad. Thank you. You madmen.
You absolute legend.
Did you share that we're doing this live stream on Twitter and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's something got up to me.
I
It's
was spamming stuff.
cool. That's all good. That's all good.
You guys are all so
Do
kind.
you want to post the Indiegogo on there yet? Not yet. Is it just?
I will post the Indiegogo another day to the
yeah.
Twitter. This is just
need
for
to
these
This is
guys.
soft
The
launch.
sticker.
Yes, we do need to show you a
Are
sticker.
characters planning to storm Area 51?
Yes.
I think
Yes.
no,
Elise
Astra
is
is the
fully,
alien.
Yeah, I
Elise is
think
fully on
Boblem-
board with the Area 51 meme.
I think Boblem is likely to be inside Area
Yes,
51.
It's just Renard holding all the leashes and then
Like-
Naruto running.
Elise made the Facebook group.
Oh my god.
Did you see saying I'm not responsible for anyone who Did does you actually this? see the conspiracy theory behind it?
What?
So there's a conspiracy theory that the person that made it was paid by the government to do it because it would be natural selection and legal,
Oh my God.
legal culling of
Oh.
people because they're gonna get shot if they go there. So there's a huge conspiracy theory now about this conspiracy theory.
Oh my god.
It is a one-time payment thing on the Indiegogo. You're not signing up for
This
monthly
is
repayments.
not like Patreon. This is just a one-off donation to our campaign. You get your perk once for what you're paying for. If it's a perk like Discord, you will have permanent access to that Discord. It won't run out. So hopefully.
Cassian charging into Area 51 while Renard is screaming for him. Oh my god, Cassian, get back here!
Bold of this person to assume that Renard would care about Cassian.
Yay, we've inspired some of the fans in the chat to make a campaign.
Amazing!
Go play!
Damn, we haven't even played yet.
yeah,
But I'm happy for you guys.
Yeah.
Go and play. Have fun.
Yeah.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Be gay, do crime.
in a second, I'm going to get us to run through the characters again in brief, just for anyone who's now joined the live stream who wasn't here earlier. So first up, we have. I won't put us through the tedious having to get Chase's video back on screen, but
Sir, that is my foot.
So
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
You said foot. He says with an excited grin.
So this first character on screen now is Chase's character, Cassian Tyrion of Tyrion's Tailors and Trinkets. We can't do this nearly as well as you can.
Cassian Tyrion of Tyrion's Trinkets and Trailers.
Yeah.
France.
He
France.
was designed as Warlock Tan France. He isn't a warlock and he isn't Tan France, but he is in fact a
Cassian with a gun, make an effort.
Do better.
Cassian with Arcane Bolt. Make an effort. Yeah, he's from the coastal town of Miratail. He is a elf wizard. He is 200 years old, so he should know better.
He is 5'9".
He is here to judge your outfit. He's going to cause a lot of tension in the group because he is arrogant and speaks his mind about anything. Doesn't really care what other people think. Next up, we have...
I think he's getting some for everyone. He's a good
Come on, Astra.
making sure we hydrate.
Yeah.
That's just in general.
This is...
Hydrated.
Oh, thank you.
A good DM keeps his players hydrated.
Thank you, Dungeon Master. Thank
Thirsty
you.
players hydrated. Sorry?
It me!
So thirsty.
This could be yours.
Oh no, I already had one.
You sure?
Yeah, yeah.
We're just shy of £400.
You're joking.
Oh my god.
You guys!
Guys!
I love you so much. Also, German Critter says, Cassian, do a French tuck. Renard, I'm wearing armour. This is Astra. This is B's tiefling bard. He's Tealfling. He's the Tealfling. He's a soft nature boy who's a pacifist and doesn't want to be involved in any of the fights and doesn't like anyone riding horses.
We're using animals for like service or work or anything like that. Yeah.
He has such an issue with this that we were all forced to break into a lord's house and steal his pet.
No, we freed it. We didn't steal it.
Well, we don't know what's going to happen at the beginning of the
If
next
someone
session
was
yet.
to break into our house and release Taika, would you say he'd been freed?
I'm not Astra!
But
It doesn't
Taika
matter.
wouldn't have blood in his mouth.
It's true.
We don't like treat him awful.
Yeah,
Like if
You
the
don't
creature had felt like it
Hey,
wanted to be there,
I'm on your side. Renard is not on Astra's side.
but Astra would still die for Renard.
Elise is
So.
on
Thank
Astra's
you.
side.
Yay!
I feel like Astra would die for anybody.
Share the Pinterest thing of all their all the cities.
Oh yes, the Pinterest board of all the
Oh,
cities.
I tried
yeah.
to share it on the chat, but it wouldn't let me.
Maybe
We
you can,
will.
like,
I will share this shortly. Let me just get through these characters again for you guys. So this is Renard. Renard is my masked mercenary from the mountains. He is essentially Cassian's direct opposite. He wears a hood and a mask at all times, never shows his face, does things for the greater good. The greater good!
He's basically a nerd. So...
And despite our
massive fucking nerd.
despite our two bottoms trying to make it work joke, Renard is not a bottom.
Oh really?
Oh, you learn something new every day.
Thanks, Boblem.
That's what he's learning now that he's outside the farm.
So inside his mask, you can see where the eyes should be. Is this brown bit? It's actually gauze. He's hiding even his eyes. So yeah.
What an emo.
When I first posted this design in the chat, everyone was just like, edgelord. I was like, yeah, okay. He wears this long black double-breasted leather coat with red feather pauldrons on the side.
So edgy, I love it.
And
Love it.
there is like a full body, almost piece of art of him coming from our official artist. So he's doing his own thing, just sort of keeping these guys on leashes. We have Elise, which is
Big
beautiful thunder bastard. Thunder bastard.
Bastard is my nickname for her.
Big
Beautiful
bubbly.
blue-haired queen.
Beautiful.
She will destroy you with a bolt of acid to the mouth. She can literally fly. And
Today for a minute.
and she
Which costs us better.
It's happening again. I'm so gay.
and
Yes.
and she's willing to steal people's offerings to the gods.
They don't need them. They
we're-
weren't using them.
We're gonna have a problem
It
then.
was just spare money.
That
Yeah.
silver that just like circled the
Should we explain that?
Yes.
So there was like this offering fountain, and Astra went and put a couple of silver in the offering fountain.
Because he saw other people doing it.
Yeah, because he saw other people doing it. He was like, oh, I want to join in and be part of society. And then Elise was just like, well, I need some money. So she went and, like, stole all the money in the thing.
You rolled a sleight of hand, but my passive perception was higher than your sleight of hand check.
So Renard, like, picked up on it and kind of made some sly comments at her, like, oh, I hear you have a bit of extra cash these days, when we were looking at some market stalls.
What a
And
sly
he was like, I think you should give that gold back. And so I was like, what gold? It was only silver. And then walked away and put the 2 silver back in Astra's, like, coin thing as he was performing in the street. So it just like circled around the whole group.
Just put Astra's donations to the, like, offerings to the gods back in Astra's hat. He then picked up and used to pay for a little leather pouch at one of the stalls.
Is that what we call
Okay, but like,
karma?
can I just? My heart is literally thundering in my chest because 2 people have got the executive producer credit.
We are
and
£844.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
We are 80% funded.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I thought this was gonna take like days.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We
literally
might be
didn't-
fully funded by the end of this live
I
stream.
literally didn't think we'd get like even a quarter of this.
Oh
Guys.
my god.
You guys are
I
very
can't even, I cannot thank you enough. We were thinking this was going to be like a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months worth of fundraising.
Yeah.
So
I'm literally
This
like
is-
shaking like, you guys, what the fuck?
I cannot
You
believe
guys are
this.
so
You guys
generous.
are wild.
Yeah.
there's 61 days left on the campaign.
Absolute madman.
Oh my god, you guys.
We haven't even announced this publicly.
Yeah, this is the soft launch, you guys.
Yeah.
Like, the video is not like fully finished.
Yeah,
The artwork
we
and
don't
stuff.
have the trailer, we don't have the
Can you
artwork.
Oh,
We have some artwork.
I can certainly pay Laura for the rest of the art now.
Yeah. So we can build a more elaborate set
Yes.
now, right?
Okay, so I was going through the characters again. We got Boblem up in here,
Pure boy.
Pure
the
boy.
pure,
My son.
precious druid farmer elf, who doesn't know that he's an elf.
Some boys just have pointy ears, you know.
Some boys just have pointy
Can't
ears.
just be like that.
He's beautiful. They're all beautiful. I don't know if you're just like,
No.
he's beautiful, she's beautiful.
Party.
You should be gay for all of them.
Yeah, that's like, this is just a big bisexual crew.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
you don't
he's
know
beautiful. When Renard first met Boblem immediately turned into an octopus.
Not out of nowhere. There was a reason.
There was a reason for it.
There was
Just in
context.
reaction to seeing Renard was like, ah! And turned into an octopus.
Many arms.
Like, the group was trying to save someone who was in the canal waters, and Renard was
Very
like
badly.
throwing in a rope, and then Boblem just turned into an octopus. Renard nearly dropped the rope. Astra just takes a full swan dive into the water.
Yeah.
It was a very dramatic starting scenario.
Boblem just wanted to help, man.
He did indeed. Those scenarios, I am going to be writing up those pre-play stories that we've already done
Yeah.
as part of the
I have all
backstory
notes.
novellas.
If you need those, let me know.
Yeah, please do.
Someone's made a a Tumblr, by the way, of incorrect Life of the Party quotes.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god. I will
I'll be
love
sending
that.
you a bunch
I'm
of
gonna be
Brooklyn
following
Nine-Nine,
that.
Parks and Rec
I will love that.
quotes.
I've already done like some memes, not with our party, but with a different party, but with like our characters.
I've literally already
Of
started
like the
saving memes.
McDonald's,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so true.
of like John Mulaney.
Renard
memes.
is one black
Renard
coffee.
is one
He
black
is.
coffee, and so is Cassian.
No, Cassian
Yeah,
is
he
one
is.
black coffee.
Cassian.
Renard is very we have food at home.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah.
That's true. And Elise is on top of the car going, McDonald's, McDonald's!
Boblem is also McDonald's.
McDonald's!
Astra and Sariel are both. We have food at home.
Something between food at home and McDonald's.
Astra would just join in on the roof, like, this sounds fun.
Bold of this meme to assume we'd let Cassian drive.
We're sorry for all the screaming. This is what you have to look forward to.
Yeah.
Occasional dice.
We stand Elise on top of the car!
Someone draw this.
Someone draw Elise on top of the car.
Elise loves climbing things, by the way.
Elise is the top.
Elise is a top.
Okay, so yeah.
climbing, getting
So
flying.
last character here, last but not least, Sariel is Sasha's moon druid elf.
We protect her.
We protect Sariel. She's a very sad lady.
Oh.
She's a very stressed out lady, but she's got cool tattoos, and at the end of the day, we're all sad with cool tattoos.
Right, Edgelord.
Yeah, Sariel's eyes. It was hard to do this on a piece of artwork, but Sariel's eyes are silver like mirrors and reflect everything that she's looking at.
Don't look
so
in her eyes. Don't look in
just
her eyes.
Don't look into her eyes. You'll be haunted by
You'll
your own
see your own
reflection.
sin.
The void will stare back at you.
And you can't quite see it in this. In fact, I'm going to show the chibis in a second because you can't quite
Yes!
see. You can't see the
And the
costumes
sticker.
properly here.
Oh, you can show my full body artwork of Elise.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You need to save it from the
Can-
from Twitter, or I can send it to you on Facebook.
Please send it to me because I can't do too much right now.
I'll
Yeah,
DM
send
it
it.
to you.
Yeah.
Oh wait, do I have it on my phone? I think I do.
Let me find
Oh,
those.
yes, I do.
Also the I've put it in the chat as well, but if you want to go through the Pinterest board just to sort of show a brief synopsis of like what the worlds look like that JD has made.
Yeah, I will definitely do that. I will definitely do that.
Mm-hmm. Do we post it on our Twitter as well?
We can after this.
Yeah.
We can post all the things. on Twitter
93%?
after this.
Oh my
What?
god!
What?
Are you?
You're
It was 70% like 5 seconds ago.
Ah!
Oh my god, this isn't real.
£977.
This is insane.
What?
Guys, I don't even know what to say to you. You're all so
We're going to be fully
amazing.
funded by the time we finish this live stream. It's
We're-
going to happen.
Oh my god! We're
You guys
gonna.
are so kind.
You guys are having all the fireside chat. Whatever you want. Whatever you want. I will
holy shit.
stream myself playing Dream Daddy.
Oh my god, can we please
Can
stream?
we do a Let's Play of Dream Daddy? I've never played it either.
Yes! Yes, we can.
Why not?
I've never
This is
played
like
it.
one of our biggest things that we do on the channel is Dream Daddy stuff.
Oh my
So,
god.
Really?
yeah.
Oh.
I just dropped the Elise artwork in the Facebook group.
Incredible.
Oh my god, this is very kind of you guys, really.
Yeah.
Too kind. I just hope we can live up to expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Now I'm worried.
Fuck.
We'll just abscond with the budget and go on holiday.
Also, Chase says
Oh,
that
I
he's
feel.
Chase says that he sends his love to everyone and he's with us in spirit. Chase, we love you. We also love Cassian. Not
Do
quite
we?
as much
We
as
do,
we love
we
you,
do.
but we do love Cassian.
Jury's out.
Astra loves Cassian.
Astra loves
I
everyone.
think Boblem likes Cassian as well.
I think Boblem likes everyone pretty much.
Elise hasn't even met Cassian yet, but she knows she doesn't like him.
Here is the full body character art of Elise that Isa did.
Bear in
Elise-
mind
It's
that this is
gorgeous!
like the first time I've done digital art, pretty much.
You say that as
ever,
though
like,
it's bad.
properly,
It's fucking
That is
bad.
better than
Beautiful.
any other thing in my
Yeah,
life.
you say that like
with
it's
like
not,
a brand new tablet. as
you just
well.
say that like it's not beautiful.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I love everything about Elise's character design, especially your arcane focus, which you have somewhere
Yeah.
upstairs, don't you?
Yeah, I bought a Moroccan lantern that looks suspiciously like the arcane focus I designed the arcane focus first, and then I went on Amazon and found one that looked almost exactly like it. And was
yes.
like, well, I'll own that then.
Yes, Jodie, you're totally allowed to make headcanons of our characters. We will also debunk them if they are completely wrong.
Yeah.
That's it. Like we all love our characters so much and care about them, and like come up with your stories and your headcanons and your artwork, because we will love it and just share it and just be so excited that you love our characters just as much as we do.
Yeah, that's like,
Yeah.
what?
We'd love to see
Fantasy
that.
combat boots, yes! Yes!
Absolutely.
All about that.
Elise's wife. Cosplaying is definitely okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Cosplay artwork.
I can't even fathom that I might see a cosplay
writing.
of a character I designed.
Yeah, I absolutely be at MCM and I will stop and scream at anyone who I see is.
That's life of the party.
Yeah, like
What?
I can't deal.
What's this one upside down?
We should add a tier to the Indiegogo that's like, pay for us to cosplay our own characters. Pay for all the materials.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Okay, I'm about to attempt to share the chibis that B did, which are also going to be a sticker pack that you can buy.
Because there'll be a sticker pack of them die cut separately.
There'll be
after the Indiegogo separately.
Yeah, after the Indiegogo. So the Indiegogo vinyl sticker is going to be like a bumper sticker with all of the characters on. But then you're going to be able to buy this vinyl sticker pack later. So let me just try and set this up so you can see it. Hopefully it's not as bad as when I tried to put Chase on the screen. That was that was disastrous.
I don't know, I really liked seeing the side of Chase's ear.
Really give us an in-depth look
Yeah,
at it.
it's a part of him I don't normally see, so
That
you
is
know.
true.
So if I just do show
Elise could
Photoshop.
kick me in the mouth and I'd thank her. Yeah, what a mood.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
I can actually put it on the screen.
That's so good.
Okay,
Oh,
so yeah, we have this, which is just the D20 with Life of the Party in the middle. And then we have...
I spent like 3 days just doing all of the headshot artwork and then all of the chibis just to try and get it done for this stream.
Thank you.
And they're so good, they're so cute.
Like,
Thank
look
you.
at baby boys!
Yeah.
So cute.
Astra
you
is
did
a
an
baby.
amazing job.
Thank
Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
honestly, thank you
seriously.
so much.
So that's Astra's little sticker. Here's Elise.
She's so adorable.
Look at her, she's about to punch you in the face and cast shocking grass.
My friend. Shocking friend.
Shocking friend.
Yeah.
I actually do want to do a thing with her where when she shakes hands with someone, she does like the buzzer thing. She doesn't have to damage them, but she's just like,
Wait, such a lad.
Here is Boblem, and I have to like draw attention to like the tiny feeties because
feeties and the vine behind him.
Yeah.
I hope that's the feties. Yeah, that is the feties.
When B was drawing that one, they messaged the chat like, "What does Boblem wear on his feet?" And Kat's response was, "Bold of you to assume that Boblem wears shoes."
Yeah.
We were playing this one shot once where we had to pull a heist at a really fancy banquet at a castle, and then they were like, "Oh, so we need to look fancy," and Boblem just went, "So shoes then."
God, what a mood. But yes, the freckles, the toes.
He's adorable. Here's Sariel. Sariel's outfit is made of many patches of fabric sewn together and yeah, held up with little bits of string, whatever Sariel can find to put on top. Random little beads and feathers and plaits and some dreadlocks in her hair. And there's her haunted eyes.
Yeah, don't look in them too close.
She also has a cloak that she wears on top of this, but cloaks tend to spoil the artwork because then you can't see anything. Same with Renard's hood.
Did you just drop your ball in my water?
You're welcome. Here is Cassian, that bitch.
The bastard.
I love him.
He's also that bitch though.
Yeah.
That is a look.
Yeah.
He uses a wand for his spellcasting.
His wand, though, is made from a piece of driftwood and has a raw crystal embedded in the top, and then has material wrapped around the top with seashells hanging from it.
He's so fancy. I don't know what to do with myself. He wears this is painted on. The designs on his forehead and his wrist is painted on, and he gets up 2 hours before everyone every morning to do it.
Why does he not just get tattoos?
On brand.
That wouldn't be for the aesthetic. He has to get up and do the fancy stuff.
They need to be a little bit different every day.
Yeah, they have to match the outfit.
Yeah.
Of course, yes.
And here is Edgelord.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah, Edgelord.
Ginger Kylo Ren. It's Kylo Ren and Hux's son.
Yeah, there he is. There's Kylo Renard.
Edge boy.
What? Yo!
Well, what's happening?
What?
Are we fully funded?
What?
What did I say? We are fully funded! I haven't even finished the
my
live
God.
stream!
Guys,
You guys are absolutely crazy.
what?
How?
Guys, we're 103% funded.
How is
What the fuck?
Oh.
I literally don't know what to do with myself. You guys are incredible. Like it doesn't stop here. It does keep going. That's the nature of crowdfunding campaigns, as you would know if you'd seen anyone else's successful crowdfunding campaigns. But you can still grab perks if you want to get them. Like, you're completely welcome to keep going and grab the perks as many times as you want. And it will keep going for 61 more days, regardless of anyone else pledging or not. But yeah, I don't know what to say, guys. Look at them. You've broken all of them.
It's just so kind. I don't know what to say or do.
Yeah.
How can we ever repay?
Wow. Somebody give B a hug.
Aww, honey.
Thank you, guys.
This is such a ridiculous passion project for us, as I'm sure you can hear in the way we're just laughing and yelling for the last 2 hours. But yeah, wow. Here we are, fully funded in
That wasn't
An
even
hour.
the whole stream. That
No.
wasn't even the whole stream.
that was the last hour.
Well, we better not make the show shit now, guys.
So much pressure.
No pressure though. No
We
pressure.
have a big responsibility to you guys.
Yeet.
My favourite thing about this is we were just going to do it anyway. Like,
I'm literally just...
it might not have had such a nice set or such good equipment.
Yeah.
But we were gonna do it
We want to do it
regardless.
better for you guys. Like, we want it to be a good
Yeah, I was like,
show.
a couple of pounds, we fine. Like, we'll
some
get some
props.
nice minis.
We'll keep going to the charity shop and finding
Yeah.
Yeah.
props and stuff.
Yeah,
We'll
we
go
were
to Tip
gonna
and see
do
what's for sale
anyway.
today.
walk around the neighbourhood, see what people have just left outside their houses for free.
Windows,
Oh my God.
lately.
Yeah.
Christ.
And it's still going.
And we still need to like post it actually publicly.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't put,
And put all the stuff on it and everything.
put, like the video that we're gonna put up there.
This
and,
is
like,
this
the
is
official
22
artwork.
people.
What
Like,
the
This is
fuck?
22
It's
people. I
now
Just
it's
22
jumped up
people.
again.
How many people have done
It's
like
now jumped up again.
the
Oh
different
my God.
106%.
Oh, you
Um,
guys are so lovely.
So generous.
For anyone
I
who
don't know what to say.
I
would
literally-
potentially be interested in other perks that we don't have listed, like this is sort of
3 out of
ideas
4
that
of
we
the
drummed
last
up in a couple of hours. But if there's anything major that you're thinking like, oh, it'd be really cool if you offered this, we will be thinking of some stretch goals in the
Yeah.
next, I guess, couple of hours. We were thinking like, oh, stretch
we thought
goals.
we'd done this.
Yeah, down the
I
line.
guess fireside chats with anyone who wants them.
Drink Daddy, let's play.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very happy to do like exclusive stuff for our backers, like private stuff for our backers. That sounds really dodgy when you think of it like that, but
All Goblin one shot.
Yes.
Oh.
So yeah, we want. Yes.
Bard! We can do Bard Street Boys!
Bard Street Boys, all Goblin one shot. Karen of the PTA.
Cheesemakers.
Karen, what's your class, Karen? What's your race, my Karen?
Is it weird of me to now want to make like a Sims house with all of the characters in it?
Do
No,
it.
please
Do
do
it.
it.
I don't have the Sims.
I
but
downloaded like Horn mods to do Astra the other day, so
Oh.
Please put them in a house together.
Cass Springs has asked, can they request an appearance from the NyxRising Drunken Canon?
it's already up there.
It's already part of
in
the
the
set.
It's in there.
It's
We
it's
put
up
it in
there.
the set. It
It's
was
up
the
there.
first thing we put.
So today we were building the set upstairs. Well, B, JD, and Izza were building the set whilst
I
me
took
and
a door
Sasha
apart. That's more construction
sort
I've
of
done in the past 3
struggled
years,
to film
my
a thing.
job.
But yeah, so yeah, they were building the set upstairs. The cannons up there. There's a bunch of other cool things up there. But we were like, oh, this'll do for the set.
It's really cool.
Um,
We're gonna try and put like Easter eggs in the set.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'd like it to
definitely.
kind of like change and evolve
And
as.
yeah,
we're going
essentially
along
we
and,
want
like,
to sort of as
yeah.
we explore the world, because JD's created this huge diverse world of like different cultures, different climates, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Put things into the set as we explore that sort of
Yeah.
suit the area that we've arrived to.
Yeah.
Like we wanted to get like a banner of the logo to hang in the set, but it would also be really cool to have a banner for like each place that we go to. It's like, oh, here comes the Sand Scrub banner, here comes
Yeah.
the Shadeborn banner. Like that would be amazing.
And just as a
That'd be
forewarning that
amazing.
like I'm a set designer and I'm fucking extra about this shit. So
We would definitely design merch.
Yes,
Like,
we
yeah.
have in fact already designed a bit of merch, but obviously we haven't started the series yet, so I felt kind of weird about putting the merch
Yeah,
up
we're
there.
kind of waiting to see what quotes stick
People
or what
cast
even becomes
I
quotes.
can't
Yes.
friend.
Yeah, what even becomes a quote. Maybe
No
like,
problem,
No problem,
Boblem.
problem.
Yeah, no problem, Bob.
No problem, Boblem.
Funny enough, that is how Boblem's name came about before we even played D&D.
Oh.
I love
Oh, that's so soft.
Yeah.
Oh, I said I was going to show off
the
Pinterest board.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Ah,
let
yes.
me close Facebook. Bye. And open Pinterest and just.
So I created these a couple weeks ago. It's not an exhaustive list of all the places, but it's most of the places.
They're so
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah,
You put so much
yeah.
work into them.
Yeah, you
And I love that they're so diverse and based on like different
Okay,
cultures. It's
so-
not Eurocentric.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I really wanted to do like some other cool stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know, where do you guys want to see?
Is there? I mean, how many
I can
places
just-
are there?
I can just go through all of them.
Yeah,
Should we
do it.
like show the places we've been so far?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
start with
okay.
Farrelstad.
Let
Yeah,
me
start
just-
with Farrelstad and
So
Minotaur.
skipping us off the screen again. One more second, guys. Let's just window capture. I know what I'm doing with the streaming software.
By the way, Indiegogo shouldn't be a UK centric like thing. Someone said that they can't back because it's
in dollars,
a UK
though.
thing, but it's not.
it's not in dollars, but it's not a UK thing. We will have a look at that. But you should be able to do it everywhere.
What are you doing?
What you doing there, bud?
Oh, he has some tissues.
Being
got-
gross.
He's
huh?
got tissue, his ball, and my feet to play with now.
Where do you find tissue?
Literally where,
He's the tissue thief.
So,
Where did you find tissue?
this is like not fitting that great on the screen.
Oh,
Give me a
wait.
sec. Um,
Wee.
We don't eat the tissue.
I have a really, really big computer screen, and a lot of things don't fit on there particularly well. Internet.
Can they see it? Well?
They can see. We're getting somewhere. Caldera Pinterest boards by JD. Okay, so can you all see that?
Yes.
You can all see that. Okay, cool. Let's start with Farrelstadt, which is where we started.
So this has a sort of classic medieval influence. It's a sort of archetypal high fantasy town. In this, I wanted a sort of very late medieval German aesthetic, hence Farrelstadt. There are a lot of sort of Germanic influence uniforms in this place. Not really like chronological. There are a lot of like anachronisms. So like uniforms are more like 18th century Napoleonic. Lots of high collars, dark velvets with yellow braiding, silver and gold detailing, like scripture like embroidered into these places. And then of the architecture, high towers and huge bulwark walls. Like the port itself is like a forest of masts. It's a busy place. Hundreds of thousands of people live and work here. Not hundreds of thousands of people. It's a bigger city. I'll work out exact numbers soon, but very heavily militaristic place. Not oppressive, so to speak, but being that they're situated on the Bay of Blades, there are a lot of pirates in this area, and they need to do something about it. Farrelstadt kind of see themselves as one of the last defences against piracy and rampancy.
I love it. It was beautiful.
It's great.
Yeah, it looks great.
And also,
Elise
our
killed a
Bay
witch
lives
there.
and Elise killed a witch there.
My Bay, our Bay lives there. Like
Our
both
Bay
of
lives
us,
there.
just like gay panic.
Yeah.
That is kind of how I pictured the city when you first described it. So
Yeah,
when you
definitely.
put up the mood board, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
good
glad.
description, because
I'm
it
glad.
really all came together.
Like your descriptions when we enter towns and you don't have the pictures up, your descriptions are so beautiful and immersive.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
really,
Really
really
vivid.
feels
Thank
like I
you.
can see it in my head like a proper film. Like
Thank
your
you.
descriptions are just so beautiful.
I got into construction because I love architecture, and ironically I build some of the most boring and uninspired buildings there are. But my first ever job was working on my first ever construction job was working on a 17th century chateau in the middle of France.
Ooh.
And it is still gorgeous, and it just inspired a love of architecture for me. So I will often end up going on these long description heavy rants about the places that we visit and the buildings that you see and the construction techniques used in these places.
I love it. I love that you're so extra about it.
I love it. I've got maps for each city as well, and in game, as and when they come up, I'll display those on board. Obviously, we've got the amazing world map from Devon Rue that we filled in, and then I just use a city map generator to illustrate each city, and then I draw out a couple of like closer detail ones and stuff. But yeah, there will be maps for pretty much everywhere the party go, so you'll always know where they are. So if you want to zoom in to, are you able to zoom in on there? You can zoom into where Farrelstadt is.
Try.
The Bay of Blades on the eastern coast.
I know where it is. I've studied this map so many times. Okay, there we go. There's Farrelstadt. Right over here.
So there's Farrelstadt. There's Miratail nearby, which is sort of, I guess, like coastal Versailles. Lots of classical,
Miratail.
post-Roman, French architecture. Very fancy place.
This is where Cassian's from, yeah?
This is. So
Which is,
I mean, just
which
yeah,
explains his aesthetic.
yeah, exactly. Just have a look through there and let that speak the words that I can't. But imagine lots of marble, white sandstone, tiled floors, gleaming armor, people in gorgeous dresses walking through.
Dr. Wera just said we're already 10% towards 200%
Oh, yeah.
funded, so we're like 100.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Guys.
What on earth? What on
What
earth?
even is this? Keep talking. Give us more money.
You're selling it.
Kelly was saying it's like Italy. Yeah, it's similar. It's similar.
You first described it to us as Fantasy Milan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fancy. Yeah, and then sort of Riven is closer to classic Italian architecture. If you have a sec, if you want to pop onto the Riven one. So that's where Sariel is from nearby. So Riven is a lot of...
That's where Astra is.
Yeah, and you're from nearby as well, aren't you? Yeah, both of you. So a lot of high arches, thick old weathered stone, terracotta tiles, white painted buildings, large open spaces, plazas and squares. There's a huge temple here to the deity Sehanin or Selun, who is the god of the hunt and the moon. Obviously, I'll talk more about the gods and deities in detail in the game, but Riven is one of few cities that is basically a theocracy. So while it's not enforced that you have to worship Sehanin if you live there, it's the only sort of official religion of that city. And Sehanin in my world is a sort of hunter priest archetype. So she blessed the first hunter-gatherers and looks after them, and as a result the priests of Sehanin drape themselves in dark greys and purples and wear a wolf's head. Once a month they go out and conduct a ritual hunt on some mighty beast in the land, and they bring that out, and the temple essentially carves it up and dishes it out and distributes it to the poor people of the city. And it's a very big celebration. Once a month on the new moon they go out and do this large religious hunt. Yeah, so yeah,
there need to get your notes on this.
Yeah, there is a lot of world building. I have had a lot of time to build this world.
He never stops.
No, I don't. I really don't.
You don't stop ever. Where shall we take the map next?
Somewhere a bit different.
Well, we're about to go to Sanskra. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have as much for Sanskrit because it's hard to find.
What was it? I like Arrakis.
Arrakis is cool.
From what I've seen, it's...
There's not much for Sanskrit, let's just have a little peek at the pictures.
Yeah, so the entirety of Sanskra is shrouded in mist. It floats on docks and jetties, the entire thing. All the buildings are made of wood, but the structures that are there sort of belie and defy the limitations of timber. You see towering towers and enormous domes and what would be cathedrals. You definitely get the impression that arcane forces hold this city together. The entire thing floating. There are a huge proportion of water genasi, triton, sea elves. The place itself is ruled by a benevolent Marid, which is essentially an equine genie. It's an interesting place. Fire is forbidden. An open flame is forbidden in this place. Sorcery is well looked upon. It has its conflicts. It has its mysteries. It's dark and shrouded in
Rain's
mist.
worst nightmare.
It's an interesting place. I'm really looking forward to getting there. And sort of the mission that these people have accepted is to map the areas south of Sanskra. So it's sort of an unclaimed, uncharted realm of flooded hills and mangrove swamps and a couple of, about, I think, 200 kilometres of it. And they're going to get money for each kilometre they map out. And this money will be paid to them by the Cartographers Guild. So they're essentially freelancing for them at the moment. So it's a good way to go out, explore the world, sort of discover plot hooks, all these sort of things. Do you want to do one more place?
Yeah.
What should we do?
Do Arrakis, because
Someone's also asked, are there any deserts in your world? So maybe do a desert place?
Yeah, well, Arrakis is halfway between the continents of Ospeia and Caldera. So Ospeia is mostly desertified.
Cool.
I haven't put as much into that as yet, besides the city of Astra, which I'll get to later. But Arrakis is an isle. Whole of it is sort of regarded as one of the homes of Dragonborn. It has a huge populous representation of Dragonborn, lizard folks, Earth Genasi, all sorts. I mean, humans are there, but it is sort of revered as this ancient, holy city. The mountain of Arrakis all basically comes up around this volcano. This enormous, this colossal titanic dragon is carved out of the stone itself, and obviously the locals say that this is where Pelor, the god of light, who in my world takes the form of a dragon, they say this is where he went to rest, and the dragon carved out of the mountain is him snoozing basically, and when the world needs him, he will wake up and protect them.
Doing the slumber.
I've taken inspiration from a lot of Persian, Southeast Asian, Islamic architecture, just because I love the tiled blues and the high arches. Taika, chill out. Oh my gosh.
He's just like all tangled up in the microphone.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So a lot of high arches, mosaic tiles, sweeping plazas, thick mighty columns like reaching up, and everywhere just dripping in vinery and greenery. Sort of like as soon as you step here, the smell of spices just hits your nose, and the sound of music is everywhere. Wyvern riders, dragonborn on the in leather armor on the backs of wyverns, circle the city permanently, and it's sort of the city's guard. It's a very interesting place. It's a sort of the home and the birthplace of sorcery and art. It's revered and it's interesting. I can't wait to get there.
So excited for all of this world.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Can't wait to see all the cities we haven't been to
yeah.
yet.
Oh, I
that
can't
I've
wait.
seen mood
I
boards
can't
for.
wait.
Your mood boards are so good.
Oh, thank you.
Very
Thank you.
nice.
We'll have mood boards, or like I think most of us have mood boards for our characters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have one for Boblem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got one for.
We also have
Astra and
Spotify
Renard.
playlists.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have Spotify playlists.
Yeah, we've
And
already
we will
done a lot.
be, making the Spotify playlist public at some point. Oh, bad.
Yeah. Also, someone's asking how do they cook if there's no open flame allowed. Confined flames are allowed, but in certain places there's basically like, if this is in Sanskrit, there are places suspended over the water which are like open grills, like each grill like 5 feet by 5 feet long, and that's where the majority of like the heated cooking is done. But being that these aren't mostly humans eating, these are water genasi tritons. Perhaps they have completely different diets to us and rely on things which don't need to be cooked as much.
Algae and raw fish.
Algae, raw fish.
All the sushi.
Yeah, plenty of things.
Also, I've seen this comment a few times, and maybe we can make it one of the crowdfunding extra things. What's it called?
What,
Stretch goals is world building session with JD.
Yeah, absolutely. If you just let me know what you'd like to see, if it's just me talking through things, or we work stuff out together, or create a city, or we create a city for your world. I mean, yeah, why not? Just let me know how you'd like to format it,
Yes.
and I'm sure that's something we can do.
And you can let us know in multiple places. So we have a separate from NyxRising social media. We have a separate Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr Ask blog for Life of the Party, where you can drop messages to us, queries to us, like things you'd like to see, fan art and stuff like that. They can all go to those. We will put the links in the description of this when it becomes a public video tomorrow. And B is just going to drop them in the chat momentarily. And there, on the Tumblr Ask blog, you can ask us any sort of longer questions that you have, or suggestions, or just hit us up with a tweet, either at that one or at our personal ones if you want to. Yeah. Just sort of anything you have ideas for in terms of stretch goals and perks, or just questions you have. We'll do our best to answer them like that.
And also over the next couple of week or 2 weeks, we'll be posting the character artwork separately on all of the social medias we just posted, along with a very, very brief character description, so you guys know exactly who is playing who and what their character is like.
Mm-hmm. And we didn't get to it yet, but there's also going to be a video about the campaign on Indiegogo.
But we didn't fully funded, so
we didn't
whatever.
actually.
Wasted our time.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh, that's my friend Umar. Thank you so much. Umar is the best.
We have artwork for.
I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Hang on. Let me show you this properly.
Yes.
My amazing friend Umar has already drawn fan art.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
Oh, retweet it as well.
I need to. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Retweet it.
Incredible.
Anything that you guys make will literally be shared everywhere.
Yes,
by us
we will
because
scream about it.
We will put it possibly in the background of our set or in the end of our videos.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're excited. We want to share your fan art with the world.
You guys are helping put this together, so we want to
involve
share
you.
and make you as much like a part of this as we can, and that means with your NPCs and your ideas. And the beauty of D&D is that it goes so far and it can be anything you want it to be. So.
And we can't wait to share your cosplays. I've just.
Yes.
Kelly Gallagher has just said in the chat, I really want to cosplay Sariel.
Do it.
Please tag me personally in your cosplays.
Yes,
I
same.
I'm so excited. If anyone wants to know specific details about the characters to put into cosplays, please just ask us because you can't tell from fan art like what materials or what or anything. But
and also, yes, if you don't have socials, you can definitely email us. Should we just do links?
Yeah, it's just NyxRising@hotmail.com. It is quite a busy email address, so we might take a little while to respond. If it's been a month, send us another one because you heard me talking about my 1,600 emails earlier. The NyxRising one is worse. I'm sorry, everyone that's giving anxiety too, because I don't tidy my email. But
I just open my phone and show you how many unread emails there are.
I can't do that.
No.
Yes.
Zero. It has to
No,
be
it
zero.
has to be 0. Otherwise,
I have one email in my inbox that I'm keeping that is just a fanfic link that I'm just going to keep going to.
I have over 100 emails every single day, and I just can't be bothered to go through and delete them.
Yeah. To be fair, this is the one where I sign up for websites and things, so I just ignore it forever.
Just thinking about this
my
making
other
me
ones on I
anxious.
actually communicate with people on, but this is just added up to nearly 10,000 emails I haven't read.
We just had a comment as well by Cass Springs, which says, "Not gonna lie, part of my love for yours creations is not everyone is defaulted to white skinned and as brown human. It means so much to me to see popular creations come out and look like me." Yes,
thank
good.
you
We
so
love
much.
You.
Yeah, that's I'm sure it's really important to everyone here. It's really important to me, personally, and I'm sure it's important to everyone here as well.
The very first time we started talking about doing this, you were like, I'm the only cis white male.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many D&D groups have one cis white man? And that's without even claiming my quarter Indian, which I'm not going to do.
Hey man, makes for solidarity.
Just about
crying as you do it.
but that's the beauty of it. This party has multiple people of colour and 100% LGBT and one cis man. How great is that?
Yeah.
The D&D is becoming open and accessible to everyone.
It belongs to the queers now.
It does.
Especially tieflings just belong to the queers.
Yeah.
Tieflings belong to the queers.
T in LGBT is for tiefling.
Yeah, honestly. If this inspires one woman to go out and play D&D, or one person of colour, or one queer person, then go out and tell your story and do not let any angry white neckbeard tell you that this is a thing. Fuck them.
Plus, I always think it's a fantasy world, so
Exactly.
why does it need to be restrained
if you
by
can
the
have dragons and
heteronormative
magic, then
standard?
black people and brown people shouldn't be this
It shouldn't be
Yeah.
held
If you
by
can have blue
supremacy.
people and red people,
then you
Exactly.
should have black people and brown people as well.
Exactly. When I
And-
describe character... Sorry, what were you saying?
No, just that it shouldn't adhere to the heteronormative standards or the
Exactly.
white supremacy
Exactly.
standards.
Yeah,
It's-
absolutely.
When I describe a character, I'm not going to go out of my way and be like, they are this and they are that and they are that, but I will, if it's relevant, I will put it in organically. And let's say your character's asked, yes, it is a diverse palette and a diverse table of characters and of the supporting cast as well, the NPC. So no, this isn't going to be white heteronormative by all means, because the world is not white and heteronormative. And frankly, any fantasy world should celebrate that.
Yeah, definitely.
At the end of the day, it's my story, they're all gay. No, it's not my story, it's all of our story.
And they're all gay.
And they're still all gay.
Taika, are you attacking the peanut?
Taika, come here.
Emery Elliott, honestly, if you create an NPC, they can absolutely be non-binary.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, there have been ones in the campaign so far, in my other campaigns. Palamo was basically sold hot sauce in this fucking tiny town up in the north, and no one really got him, but he was a very out and proud non-binary character, and I will do my best to represent properly, but if I ever step over any lines, don't be hesitant to tell me. I had a big thread about a month ago where I'm kind of having a think, and I want to create a diverse world with diverse settings. It's like, okay, but how do I do that without treading into stereotyping. So if I create a jungle civilization and I take inspiration from the architecture and clothing and music of Mayan culture, for example, at what point is it taking inspiration? At what point is it stepping over into a character? And I'm going to try and I will tread that line. I will try not. I will no. I will not tread that line. I will try to just be as respectful and open.
Yeah,
and
that's all you can do.
about
Really.
it
It's
possible,
about
yeah.
not trivializing.
And it's coming
the
from
Yeah,
a good
exactly,
place, so-
exactly.
Yeah, and that goes for all of us as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that is just
A teaser.
us as a whole. As for which like particular characters are like characters within it, like out of our party or LGBT or anything like that is yet to be discovered. These people have had like 3 sessions so far, and they haven't all been there for all of the 3 sessions, so it will all be explored. I'm sure it will, and I'm sure it will. As JD has pledged to make more and more attractive NPCs, I'm sure it will be explored.
Only constant in my rule, they're all hot. All hot.
Yeah. Well, it's fantasy. Everybody's hot, right?
Yeah.
Even the goblin cheese merchants.
Oh, you know.
I love that
He's the hottest
especially.
one.
That big toe.
You know what they say about a goblin with big toe? He's got a
Big shoe.
toe.
Remember the hot half-orc, like single
Oh
dad
boy, do I.
baker who like
Do I.
saved the baby from the crashing carriage?
Oh man. Oh man.
The guys, people in the chat are so sweet.
Yeah,
they're giving you guys the love.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you do love our lovely new wonderful people here, because
We love them.
we love them, and I'm pretty confident this isn't the only places you guys are going to be showing up on the NyxRising channel.
Yeah.
We've already been talking about like series, other cosplays and stuff that we could work with in the future. So get familiar with these people. They are part of the group now, part of the gang,
Should we do one more?
part of the ship, part of the crew.
Should we do one more character quick rundown?
Yeah, we can run around the characters. I
Also,
don't know
the
who's-
Indiegogo sticker.
The Indiegogo sticker, I don't have it
Oh,
completed yet. That's why I haven't shown it.
Cool.
Right, yeah, but I don't know who is anyone new here to the stream since we started.
We've had a few people saying that they've just joined, and
So anyone who has
the
just joined,
Australians have just come online.
the Australians have woken up like, what have I missed?
Crawled
This is
out.
going online afterwards.
Yes,
Yes.
it
Okay,
is.
okay, cool.
it'll be live tomorrow. Yeah, it takes a while.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, I've
okay.
said it, so it won't automatically go on because that's
Cool.
been a problem for us for the last few times. So,
Okay, okay.
yeah, we will go through the characters one more time, and I will once again describe Cassian, but then I'll let you guys talk about your characters.
Someone
once
said
more.
that they've known Izza, JD, and Kat for an hour, and they die for you.
Which bitch, I would die for you.
I would die for you too.
Yeah, me too.
Pure.
Okay, so let's start with once more with Cassian, because Chase is not here to talk about his character.
He's a
and
little
therefore
bitch.
I will try my
Little
best
bitch.
to do
He's too busy.
him some respect.
I will step on you, whoever you are. I'll do it.
I'd like to point out that was addressed to Izza, not to Izza's character.
Just Izza.
Who is this
Fair.
person?
Jodie.
Jodie, I will step on you. Yes.
Ocean man.
Okay, Ocean Man.
Someone's asked,
I love
we
you.
are starting at level 3.
Yes.
Yes, our characters, we're starting at level 3. We started our game at level 2, and we have played 3 sessions at various points, so we're all starting at level 3, and we'll be going from there. And yeah, when
So
you
we're
get
not
those...
useless.
Yeah, when you grab those backstory novellas as a perk on our Indiegogo crowdfunder, you can find out what happened to get us to level 3.
So many disasters.
Link in the description.
Link in the description.
And nobody died.
So,
Nearly.
From our side.
just bring it down here. This character on screen, this character is Cassian Tyrion of Tyrion's Trinkets and Tailoring. This character is played by Chase, who is
isn't
absent
here.
at the moment. Cassian is an elf wizard from the coastal city of Miratail that we talked about shortly ago. He's a bitch. He's self-described as arrogant. He's full of himself. He's all about the aesthetic. He will judge your outfit. He spends 2 hours every morning putting this gold paint on his face. He's very dexterous, which we've talked to Chase about this. He's very dexterous, therefore he doesn't get hit in the face by the shell earrings. He can, as he's moving, always just miss them. He has gold eyes and wears this aesthetic piece of leather armor on his chest.
Which is useless because he's a wizard, but it's aesthetic, so...
He casts magic with a piece of driftwood with a crystal on the end. And yeah, he's in it for himself. We're not really going to pay much attention to alignment, but he is neutral evil, which sounds a lot worse than it is.
Yeah, we're not putting too much stock in alignments. I don't really use it in a system. Like, if you want to use it to help describe your character, great. But I don't really use it mechanically.
He's a neutral bitch.
Neutral bitch.
Bitch bastard.
He's in it just for himself. Chase has stated he would swap sides for the right offer. So.
Oh no.
Which, yeah, that's Cassian. We're hoping we can bring him round to be a loyal member of the party.
Nah, I think we're gonna have to kill him, guys.
Hey.
Team friendly fire.
Team friendly fire.
He was nice to Boblem once.
That's true.
And he remembers.
You're nice to Boblem once and Boblem will never forget.
Exactly. Boblem will remember this. Oh, that's a really good idea from Caspring.
Yeah, Caspring said, could a stretch goal be a collection of character one-shot stories? Which I'm very happy to write if you guys want to help me come up with what they are.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Do you mean like a written thing or a game?
Or a game? That's a...
Because
Well,
one shot could be like a one
I'm a
game.
fan of having books of things I like, so I assume they've been
I
written.
didn't see that because the microphone was blocking it.
Yeah, so
Meanwhile,
we
someone
can
else
do
just said
written
me and
stuff.
Cassian's death in accidents.
Very different vibes here.
I don't make it look like an accident.
No!
Don't let this person make an NPC.
This one NPC's mission: kill Cassian.
Make it
We-
look like an accident.
We love Cassian, we really do.
I love Cassian so
I really
much.
love having a member of the party who's here to like cause,
Steer
to
them up.
stir the pot, because that's going to keep it interesting. And also the character development that could happen.
And also the shipping, like.
All right.
Oh.
Here is Renard, who be avidly ships with Cassian, even though Renard would never ship himself with Cassian.
Both
They
Cassian
never
and
do.
Elise at the same time.
He has two hands.
They're a throuple.
They are a throuple. They are a throuple already, and Elise hasn't even met Cassian.
Kelly Gallagher said Cassian would sell you for a breadstick, and I'm pretty sure that's accurate.
He'll sell you to Satan for a corn chip.
Yeah. So Renard is my character. He is 23 years old. He is 6 foot tall with the heels. He is a fighter, a mercenary from the mountains. He wears a mask at all times. You can't see his face or his eyes. He has freckles. And technically, like, he wears a scarf over his mouth as well. So,
But that don't make
but
good art.
that doesn't make good art if you just have a hood and a mask and a scarf. You just have like a wall of fabric in front of his face. So, yeah,
It'd be a lot
this
easier
is
for me to have drawn rather than this mask.
he's lawful good. Though we're not putting much stock in alignments.
Nerd.
Okay.
He's just been described as Gucci mask and heels.
Yeah, he has a long black leather coat that he doesn't take off, and a mask that he doesn't take off, and a hood that he doesn't take off. Chase's goal is to get him to take these off.
Yeah, it is.
I walked into that one. Yes, he is a ginger freckles human. He's a beautiful boy. I love him very much. But he's not that interesting, so let's move on to somebody else. Astra,
Hola.
Shiny boy.
go ahead and describe your shiny boy one more time.
Okay. I forgot how words work. I'm so overwhelmed. This is Verdant Astra. He is a tiefling bard from nearby to Riven, which is in the northernmost point of the map. He is 26 years old, and he's only been out in the world for just over a year. He's 6'2", and he sees the good in everyone that he meets, and he is a pacifist. So he believes that there's always a way that you can talk through situations, or at least he's starting to sort of have to learn that isn't always the way. But he's not going to go quietly into that.
To all the people saying bone, he will not.
As you can see, he's got Mother of Pearl on his horns, which he got drunkenly in one of the last sessions. And also, he has usually his brown outfit on that he wears when he's travelling, but he also has a pink and blue outfit that he wears when he's performing with his lute, lyre, or pan flute to make extra money that he thinks that he needs when he's travelling. Yeah, he's a pacifist, and it makes it really awkward to play D&D with, but I love it.
I find it very
really
interesting how
Yeah.
you still manage the fights though, because you do help us.
Yeah, and it works for the bard really well. I
Yeah,
think.
but it is in character. It's very interesting.
And also, he uses dissonant whispers, which is technically a psychic damage attack, but he doesn't consider it damage.
He doesn't know that it does
He
damage.
doesn't think that it does damage, which is why he's still a pacifist in his mind,
Yeah.
because he doesn't see it doing physical damage.
But like bear in mind that like HP in D&D doesn't necessarily represent your physical health. You can have 53 HP and you can go down to 1 without taking a physical blow.
Yeah.
HP represents your stamina, your morale, like how tired you are, and can represent physical damage as
You can
well.
take damage from like vicious mockery, which is just someone like
exactly.
your mum insulting
Yeah,
you. You know?
yeah. It doesn't. I mean, it can, but it doesn't always literally make you bleed. Like getting down to that one point, and then the final blow can just be them wearing you down, just battering against your shield, for example, or chatting shit at you until your morale drops. Bam! They get the final blow, and then they knock you unconscious. So yeah, there's ways around it. There's ways around it.
Yeah. Also, someone said that they want to make an NPC that comes up to Astra and gives him sparkly child, a child that comes up to him and gives him a sparkly chain thing. Like, Astra loves children. Like, he stopped performing. He stopped playing his lute in the last session, and then you described a child stopped dancing, so he continued playing the lute. Like, he loves making children smile, and like I said earlier, he sees everyone on an even playing field. So kings and horses are usually seen like that, but on Astra's eyes, everyone is completely even and shouldn't be given status shouldn't be given status over other people. He's not going to steal a child. He just would like to give
Being
money to
even a
children.
sparkly child.
Right. Boblem!
Boy. My boy.
Do you want to put the mic down?
Yeah.
Oh. Hello.
Cat ASMR.
This is gonna be my accent. So yeah, there we have Boblem. He is a farmer, 21 years old, 6'4", curly hair, olive skin tone, so he's not like white. He has freckles and he's a half-elf druid, but he doesn't know he's a half-elf or a druid. As I said before, he still just kind of thinks he's a boy with pointy ears. Because genetics are funny.
I love him. He's so lovely. He's so wonderful.
Aww. It is fun playing him. He's like the kind of person I wish I could be, just like happy and aloof and everything's fine.
Yeah. He's a
Like,
complete
man.
dichotomy to your other character that we've played.
Oh, I know. That's why I love it.
Oh,
My other character is Chad. He's a...
Chad, and I haven't even played with Chad.
Wait, this is not relevant to the party. I'm sorry.
No, talk about Chad. It's fine.
He's just an arrogant jock
Yeah.
that plays Blood Bowl, which is the American football version of D&D.
Yeah.
God.
He's a fire ganassi and he's a badass.
Just
We stand a Chad.
A rowdy man is just really what Cat is.
You should have given
Yeah.
a girlfriend called Stacey.
Yeah, no. We've already got Matt is trying to ship him. He wants to make a character to ship. And yeah.
Chad's just a Chad.
Stacey's and Chad.
Yeah.
I really like the two contrasts of those characters. Every now and then I think of them two meeting. I'd be like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Both two tall boys that are on very different wavelengths.
Yeah. Oh, his full name is Nicholas Chaddington as well.
Yeah, Nicholas. Yeah, but he just goes by Chad because names are for nerds, man.
Yeah.
I love and appreciate everything that you choose.
Thank you. I just do things to entertain myself and hope other people find it entertaining as well.
Right.
But yeah. Next character?
Sariel.
Aw,
have
Sariel runs at speed, nervous.
Oh.
We need to get one of like the little nervous.
Nervous hollers for Renard's 5 leashes. Sariel was part of a tribe of moon maidens in the Copper Hills, a matriarchal tribe who worship the moon. and has since then gone through a massive trauma and is trying to run away from that.
We will protect her.
Yeah.
Definitely.
She's 5'2".
She's very small.
Jump on Boble's shoulder.
Doesn't
That'd be so good.
Yeah, that'd be really great.
Just scary.
Yeah. Like
Double druid.
Oh.
Double druid.
Could be like
double
Optimus
druid.
Prime.
Yeah.
Has a lot of like trust issues and like hides herself within her clothing just to sort of like not be noticed. Like avoids eye contact at all costs. But
Which is good because her eyes are haunted.
that's a skill set, not a skill set, but a trait that she has. She has the haunted trait. So yeah, is slowly beginning to trust these people that she met.
Yay.
We stand Sariel.
Yeah, but you need to be
So
a level
cute.
5. You need to be a level 5 friend to unlock this backstory.
We're only 2 levels away, we can do it.
Please, cast friends.
What if I cast friends?
No. Give her time.
Sariel gets 1 minute into her backstory and then punches Elise in the face.
Someone saying Boblem and Sariel confused into a non-binary goddess. And, yeah, a concept. Boblem carrying Sariel when she gets scared of time. Yes!
I ship it!
You keep talking.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
So pure.
Yeah.
They are big and small druid friends. Yeah, tall and small druids.
For someone asking, it's Boblem, as in problem.
No problem, Boblem.
Exactly.
Because there's no problem, Boblem.
Right, and on to the
My
Queen.
girl. My
The queen.
girl.
our goddess.
Yes.
Wife material.
Wife.
What's a shirt made of? Oh, it's wife material.
Renard at every turn.
Yeah, I think the main thing about my character is that she really confuses Renard. I really like that. So yeah, this is my character. This is Elise. She is a storm sorcerer, and she does all kinds of cool shit with like electrical, lightning, thunder magic. Hence the blue hair, blue eyes. Yeah, and so because people have been talking about alignments, like I've kind of been playing her as chaotic neutral. In case you couldn't guess, guys. Which obviously, like, yeah, I don't want to be tied to just like always playing alignment because I think characters should be able to develop and grow. But yeah, like she's very much like if she wants something and she knows that there's a way she can like get it done, then she's not above like doing something underhanded to get that thing done, and kind of is like a bit self-interested and prideful at times, and is like cunning and ambitious and has like goals she wants to reach and knows like different plans to achieve them.
What do you want to do, Elise?
I want to steal! Yeah, she likes stealing and she enjoys, casting friends on people. She thinks it's funny. She thinks it's funny that they turn hostile afterwards.
Oh my god. Still what? Everybody's heart.
Yeah.
Arrest her, officer.
I want to steal Renard's heart.
And she might.
Good. Keep going.
Good.
To the question, what gave her the facial scar? You will find out in play.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that now.
It's part of backstory.
Someone said earlier, by the way, you should just say, like, you know how I got this scar? And just do a different story every single time.
Maybe I will do that. We have to come up with loads of different ones. Yeah, so that's my girl.
She's a queen.
She's only 18, isn't she?
Yeah, she is only 18.
Nearly 19.
She's nearly 19.
She'll be the first birthday we have in game.
Yeah, I was
I didn't know she was a child.
Yeah. She has ideas above her station.
So 19, 23,
21.
21, 26.
26.
Cassian's 200.
I need to work out how elf ages work.
Well,
So
elves
Cass-
reach maturity at about 100 years old.
Yeah. So 100 for them is like 18 to 20 for humans.
Like they physically mature the same age as humans, but they reach like mental
Yeah,
maturity supposedly at 100, and then they live to like up to 750.
I need to
Wait,
figure that out
How old
then.
is
Yeah.
your character then?
Like mid-20s, I'd assume in
Yeah.
human years.
So
Yeah,
about
that
like
is in elf years.
110 or 120 or something like that.
Funny to think that Cassian, the most vain one, is the old man of the campaign.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's 200 years old and he's the biggest fucking bitch baby.
One of Ren's main sticking points is just like, you're so adult. Be more mature.
Be more like Elise, as she's just like in the process of pickpocketing someone.
She's
Be more
also
like Elise as she's
like-
melting someone's face.
she's also like a child though, so we all grow and develop. What
So
18-year-old
is
did I do?
Cassian mid-20s to
midlife
30s?
crisis. Yeah, so Cassian's like late 20s ish.
Roughly, I guess.
Equivalent for an
Yeah.
elf? Yeah.
Yeah, because
At 200, yeah, I'd imagine so.
Is he bang on 200 or is it
Yeah.
like 200 and something?
Chase said around 200, so
Okay.
yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
be like mid-late 20s. Isn't
But
it?
yeah, the party don't know that Elise is only 18 yet.
No.
Yeah, we're gonna have to focus on separation of character and player.
Yeah.
Oh, should we
Yeah,
do
we
some
start
like
wrapping-
final questions
Yeah.
for like
Yeah.
Oh yeah, any
Q&A?
Q&A.
Like, if anyone has any
Oh,
burning questions, like
Q&A.
address them to.
Elise is
one
the
of us.
icon we all deserve, I agree. Thank you. Sorry, continue, JD.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Any other like final questions before we sign off? Addressed to anyone in particular or just to the group?
And like it can be like world building or personal or like, well, not too
Character
personal,
stuff.
or character stuff.
Yeah.
And also again,
Yeah.
just thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
That's
very
Possibly.
much.
Yeah,
So
they're
I don't know if I should
crowdfunding
answer that.
campaign.
If you don't
What?
feel like you should,
Yo,
then
yeah, there might
go
be
to
things
that.
we can't answer if it's about the.
backstory
if-
stuff.
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, so if anyone asks the thing that's backstory, just say that's backstory. Yeah.
Ooh, Hogwarts houses for the characters.
God.
That's a good one.
Oh, I'm still thinking about it.
Hufflepuff.
Yeah, I think Boblem would also be Hufflepuff.
Honestly,
Sarah would as well.
Probably Slytherin, I guess. But like a nice, friendly Slytherin.
Cassian's definitely a Slytherin as well.
I
Yeah.
think Cassian would be a Ravenclaw.
It's
I think they're
Yeah.
cooler, they're more
Yeah, you know
elitist.
what?
You're right.
And Renard is a Gryffindor. As much as I personally hate Gryffindor.
Oh. Also,
Oh.
Jody Cat, you're very sweet, thank you.
What's Tagu?
Oh, what is tagging? He's
Kelly
a
Gallagher
minotaur.
says, "Can someone hug JD? Can we just quickly
Oh.
mention JD?
We
love him.
Thank you. I love all of you. But yes, I can confirm, Cat is pure and beautiful.
She is.
I don't know about that, man.
I know that.
She is.
I know that.
Emery has asked to sum up your characters. It's your character in one song.
Wait, let me get my back. Let me get my playlist up.
Voltron cosplay. I was thinking about cosplaying Hunk. Potential.
You'd be very good.
Please.
Mm-hmm.
I've thought about
Potential.
doing a female Shiro.
Oh, you'd be cool.
Or
as
Allura.
Nice,
that.
nice.
You'd be really cool as either of those.
Ooh.
So, I have one song picked for the whole party. And,
Oh.
depending on how the Indiegogo does, I might see if we can license it as an opening song. But I can't play it on the stream because we don't have a license.
What is
It is
yeah.
Glitter and Gold by Barnes Courtney.
Yes.
Oh.
Which I will play to you guys when we stop streaming.
Yeah.
There's like kind of like a line in there for everyone, and I was just like, and it's got such a good
Oh,
vibe.
amazing,
So,
amazing. Question about the world building. What do I start with? Honestly, so I started with just a blank map, and honestly, I look around the room, I look at a random object, and then I make a name out of the object. I like spell it backwards, or I like mix it up or something, and then bam, that is the city name. And from that, what does it sound like? Does it sound more like historically Russian, more historically Persian? Does it sound completely different to anything I've known? And then sort of build off that with references from real life, references from my favourite fantasy and sci-fi sort of themes and tropes, and then just flesh it out from there. I find it's easiest to go with something physical first, like the city or the map, and then populate after with people, and then populate after that with events. And then, boom, you've suddenly got an entire alive place.
That's amazing.
It's so
That's
cool.
so cool. You're so talented.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Aw.
I'm not good at my job, though, so...
Imagine being creative just like that.
Someone's asked again, can people cosplay our characters?
Yes.
Yes.
Like, just a big flat answer of yes to like anything creative. So like cosplay, fan art, fan fiction, headcanons.
I'd say
like
like do it as well respectfully. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
don't brownface.
Yeah, as long as it's
Yeah.
respectfully.
That's
Go without saying.
You're
but
welcome
okay.
to cosplay Boblem, but don't do brownface either, or
Yeah.
same goes for your character,
Yeah, yeah.
Cassian.
But yeah, I don't like. Also, I'll put out there that I don't care if like someone of a different skin tone cosplays.
Yeah.
Elise, just don't do brown face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like-
the same for Boblem.
Yeah.
Yeah. To the person asking, does this campaign have a name? The series is called Life of the Party.
The party doesn't have a name.
Party
as of yet,
name is
but-
Plant Bastards.
I thought we were JD's Goblin Farm.
JD's Goblin Farm is the name of our group chat.
Yeah, so we don't have an in-game party name yet. We don't have like
We haven't got that yet.
a
Something
name
will
that we
come
would
up, I'm
give
sure.
to an official as a party because
Like the Mighty Nine. Or,
we
Yeah.
haven't actually all met.
yeah.
Yeah,
too.
these
That's
things come
kind of-
naturally. They
yeah.
won't come immediately.
Yeah.
Like,
But it is the Plant Bastards. Because we realised our party was half people who really like plants and people who are bastards. So, Plant Bastards.
to put who's asking if you can make your D&D character as yourself. Yeah, why not? It's your character. If I want my character to be DJ, the white bearded man who is a fantasy construction manager
And the softest man ever.
and a soft man, because I am a soft boy. Yeah, absolutely. Why not? It's your D&D character. Do whatever you want.
know that.
It's just what you enjoy playing.
Yeah,
More than
yeah. There's no limit to who or what you can play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The only limit is your imagination.
Just because someone was asking in the chat, when I say brown facing, I mean, like putting on makeup to make yourself look dark skinned when you are white or light skinned. Same as
Don't-
black
don't-
facing, but for brown people.
Don't
So yeah.
paint your face. It's
Yeah.
cool to paint yourself blue. It's not cool
Yeah.
to paint yourself brown.
For a myriad of reasons, I'd be happy to do a whole Twitter thread on another time.
but now is not the time for that.
Another 2-hour stream.
Yeah.
Are there any final questions? Any burning ones before we head off?
Taika.
Oh yeah, I think
What kind of
somebody...
drunks are our characters?
Yeah, white.
Rowdy drunk.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Astra went and got himself bedazzled.
Basically getting a drunk tattoo.
Yeah.
Basically.
It
Got
was,
a tramp stamp.
it was the very first time that Astra had ever had alcohol, and so he ended up. So I'd like to point out first of all, Cassian was ordering himself drinks and then sliding them to Astra.
Cassian didn't drink a drop.
No,
Oh,
That
he's
bitch.
that friend. I see.
Yeah.
Can't
so
wait to
Astra
meet him.
was getting really drunk because Cassian likes to get other people drunk without himself getting drunk, so he can get your information.
Well, now I know this.
Bitch.
I
You
will
can't take that into game.
I will metagame that.
Cannot. Not allowed. We will kick you out, and there'll be threads about it.
I think I saw a question earlier that was like, what drew us to our characters or what inspired it?
What
Oh,
inspired
that would
the
be
show?
cool, yeah.
Um,
Talk about.
I think I saw it.
Yeah, no.
Renard is like a mashup of some of my favourite fantasy book characters. Just draw on traits that I like to like roleplay as, improv as, and characters that I like and stuff, and sort of pick bits and throw them all into a big mixing pot. And he's a ginger because
Gingers.
gingers.
Do you like gingers?
No.
Aww.
Yes, I do. Of course I do. Hello. Sorry, the boy has come here. Come on, join us for the end of the stream.
Well, he wanted to be in it so bad.
Oh god.
Oh god! Oh no!
He's typing. Say hello to again.
Message from Taika.
He's trying to communicate.
So what
You
what
wanted to
inspired
be
you
it.
for Boblem?
For me, I guess. So when JD and I watched Young Justice, he would put on this really silly, like, super boy voice where it would be, like, very much like a farmer, like, southern.
Forgot about that.
Because I always found it really funny, just the idea of thinking that Clark Kent, even though I know Midwestern and all of that, would just sound like a farmer.
So true though.
So, like, a big, like, soft farmer that's really strong but doesn't, like, really know it or use their powers for good. That kind of, like, based the idea around that. Or also...
So good.
Yeah, just kind of based it off different characters that I like. Also, EO in Shaman King. Just, like, a really chill dude
yeah.
that, like, is power. It's just so chill. I was like, I want a character that's, like, just like that. Just chill, enjoying life, but
very
still
good.
has a good sense of responsibility, you know?
I'm gonna be singing the Superboy song the whole way home.
And
Yeah, Elise was kind of like an amalgamation of a few different things. The first thing is that she's like another version of an OC I've had since I was like a kid. so like in D&D I was like, okay, I want to just like bring to life the shitty OCs I made when I was a kid, and I made like Justice League OCs and stuff like that, and Golden Sun OCs and things like that. Yeah, I was that kid. And so she's kind of like hello, like a more like refined and developed version of like a character I kind of like had in my head for a while. But I also wanted to make a character who was like, I really love both rogues and mages, and I wanted to make a character who was like a mage who could also rogue. And I looked into like the Arcane Trickster class, but that was more a rogue who can also a bit mage, and I wanted it the other way around, so I decided to, hello, yes, okay, thank you, that's for me.
One potato chip.
And yeah, I kind of wanted it the other way around. I wanted like a mage who could utilize their skills to be stealthy and do crimes. So be gay, do crimes. Yeah, and I also I can't do that without talking about her backstory. This one.
Don't
do
do
that.
that.
Yeah, I love her. That's all you need to know.
She's so good. And Sariel? Sariel was a copy-paste from a Dragon Age D&D that we did.
That never got to come to fruition.
Yeah,
properly.
so I never got to play out her story. And I also LARP, and my favourite thing to do at LARP is cry. So...
Sasha loves to do emotional scenes. Sasha loves to cry.
Yeah. So I'm here for all the emotional trauma. That's what I'm here to do, and I'm here to play out that story, so I'm very excited to do that. And Astra?
I just wanted to make a soft boy. I really wanted to make
I feel
a tiefling.
that.
Yeah, I really wanted to make a tiefling. I didn't want to do a character type that I've done before, so like rogues. I always go for like rogues. So I wanted to go out of my comfort zone by doing a bard. And yeah, so I chose that. Like I said earlier, tieflings belong to the quiz, so I like instant-slammed that. And I just wanted to do a really soft boy, and I figured it would be an interesting take on a D&D character if they were completely pacifist. And yeah, there we go.
He kind of developed across like
multiple
weeks of talking about it non-stop at home.
Talking about it non-stop to the point of we ended up, like, R and I ended up doing an entire family tree of 70 plus characters with names and backstories and familial connections, to just sort of work out his family and how he is the way that he is. Yeah, it's a lot. I also have a diary that I've been keeping as him.
It's incredible.
Thank you. That I've been writing into it his thoughts about what's been going on and doing drawings, and like it's just I've been doing a lot of backstory stuff for him, and it's built him into the character that he is. Because he was supposed to start off being quite similar to who was it from Moomin?
Oh, Snufkin.
Snufkin. Kind of semi-based in
Yeah,
Snufkin.
when you started, you're like, I want to make a Snufkin.
Yeah, and then he's completely evolved away from being Snufkin because I wanted him to be more involved and like be more excited to push into things. But yeah, he's a very fun character, and I just really like soft plant characters because I like plants and I'm soft.
You.
Like if he is anything, he's probably my self-insert.
Someone's asked if there are any established relationships as of yet.
Not
like,
really.
Not like ships, but like relationships between
any characters who
and
knew
any
one another
tension
beforehand.
None of us knew each other.
None of us knew each other.
This is a group of people who actually met at their first adventure point.
Yeah. Standing on the docks,
Yeah.
rolling really low on all their perception rolls and going like, oh, it sounds like there's someone being attacked behind me, but look, that sure is a boat over there.
It started trying to free the fisherman's net from the wyvern, and like just couldn't do it, and then Boblem was like, well, I'm going to speak to the wyvern in Draconic. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, don't just let go of the net. Oh, he's hungry.
And yeah, any previous relationship things might come up, but it'll be coming up in story. Like we'd only give things away that would come up in story, and anything that has come up like background related wise in story for us so far is going to be like retconned and put into like the campaign at a later date, so that you guys don't miss anything.
Yeah, we don't want you guys to miss anything. Cass Springs has just mentioned the PO box, and I think this would be an important moment to announce that
we're actually not going to close the PO box like we said we were going to do in August. We had a discussion with our Patreon Discord, all of our lovely patrons, about our PO box, and the general gist of it was them saying don't close it yet. So we're going to keep it open for at least another 3 months. So in terms of that, it's still going to be available at NyxRising, Box 48, 18 High Street, High Wycombe, Buckinghamshire, UK, HP11 2BE, which I will put in the description as well. Yes, so you can send things to the PO box as long as you like. Just make sure you address it to NyxRising at that address. And we happily accept anything. Please don't send perishable food because they're really bad at sending us the stuff from the PO box, and it quite often goes off before we receive it.
And also allergies and stuff.
And yeah, people have allergies and stuff like that, so food's not great. Coffee is fantastic. We're still getting through the coffee we were sent in the last couple of PO box packages.
I finally finished one of the Italian coffees, and I feel like there's a void in my life.
Yeah, we were sent some beautiful Italian coffee that we've just finished after a couple of months, and whoever sent that, I can't remember your name, but thank you so much. We met you at Comic-Con. You were fantastic.
And Cat Springs, feel free to also send us gifts, like you said, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
Very
But make sure you put the name on it of who you want it to go to.
Yeah, so if you're sending a letter or a parcel or anything, obviously address it to the NyxRising address, but you can put either like care of someone's name if it's for them in particular, or put like a note on the inside for who it's supposed to go to. We quite often have things where we open it and we'll say a little slip of paper on the inside, this is for this person. We'll make sure it gets to them.
And also, anything that's sent specifically for the Life as the Party D&D. Like, if it's, like, someone said, like, mentioned doing figurines or something, like, it would be displayed in the background of our set.
Yeah, we're definitely going to put that
Yeah,
stuff
we
in
want
the
to try
background.
and do that, definitely.
And, like, any artwork would be displayed either, like, at the end of the stream or, like, mid-stream or something.
Emery, if you want to send dice, you can send dice.
Feed my addiction.
No, you have enough.
I don't have enough dice.
You don't have enough dice.
I don't have enough dice.
No.
Do you want me to?
And
do you want
also-
to drop in the photo I took of JD at MCM at the dice stall that I took?
And, yeah, I was about to say, also, the series will start by then. We're going to film the first one soon.
Yeah, so we're hoping to film the first session on Sunday 28th of July, and we're hoping to put out the first episode on Monday 29th of July. So fingers and toes and everything crossed that goes well, because you know what we're like with scheduling. But
And then we're probably going to wrap this up very, very soon.
we are indeed going to wrap this up. I can't thank you guys enough for our...
Thank you so much. This has been
Insane.
incredible.
Yeah, seriously.
I hope, this has been an amazing start, introduction for you guys to our channel.
Yeah.
I found the picture of JD. I'm just going to put it in the Facebook group. Put it in the.
Yes. In fact, we will post it to the Life of the Party Twitter, so you can go and see it on Life OT Party D&D.
But yeah, just again, thank you all so much for your support. Like, we didn't even think that we'd be funded within 2 months.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
We were just thinking like, oh, this will be cool if we
If we
get
get
something.
if we get like a tenner out of this would be sweet. It'd be something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was gonna be
But,
like a third of it over the course of like a month.
Like, and this
Nice.
is like, it's gonna help so much just improve the quality of what we want to give to you guys. It's so good. Thank you so much. Like, from the bottom of my heart.
From the bottom of all of our hearts, this is going to be amazing, and I will give you, as requested, the Indiegogo link one more time, and it will be in the description of the video when the video is up on the channel.
And
tomorrow.
we'll post it properly on.
We'll post it on Twitter tomorrow and all over the socials. But yeah, there it is. And thank you, all of you. Thank you to the 160 odd of you who are still here, but to everybody who's come to the stream, to everyone who'll be watching this stream after it's live. Yeah, we're blown away. We love you. We love your
support.
support.
Also, people are still hashtaging Daddy Master.
Thank you, especially to those people in particular. Yeah, and
What have you done?
And yeah, like I said, keep an eye on the Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr, because we'll be posting the character information and artwork again soon. And then, because you guys have funded it, the other character artwork will be coming a lot sooner than we anticipated.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, we'll have all of the official artwork so much faster than we have figured out. And, like, thank you.
And it means we can stretch out. We can do merch soon. We can do sort of more stuff. I wanted to put together like a proper website for it and stuff. So all of that stuff is going to be possible. Thank you to you guys.
We can do, like, the die-cast stickers and the enamel pins faster than we figured.
Yeah. The fact that it's been funded so fast means that you can get your perks a lot faster because we actually can do that now. But yeah, just thank you so much for being as passionate and excited about this as we are. This has been such a huge passion project for us over the last couple of months, and we've been like, the pot's been boiling over with excitement of it, trying to think about when we're going to launch this. We can't wait to tell you guys, and I'm so happy just to have shared it with you now.
A lot of love.
And yeah, so we will see you guys very, very, very soon.
As always, until next time, I'm Nyx.
I'm B.
I'm Sasha.
I'm Kat.
I'm Izza.
I'm JD.
And we are NyxRising Industries.
And we are live in the party!
And we're 115% funded.
And we love you.
We love you.
We love you.